We are just moments away, about less than 2 minutes from the backside of our tripleheader. That's James Dockery of Big West leading New Mexico State. They're taking on UNLV minutes from now.
The first time I switched pain relievers, it was from aspirin to Tylenol. Then recently, I switched again, from Tylenol acetaminophen to Advil. You see, I got these really pounding headaches, and I found Tylenol didn't always get rid of all the pain. So I tried Advil and found that for my really tough headaches, 2 Advil worked better than 2 extra-strength Tylenol tablets, better than Tylenol gel caps. For my tough headaches, Advil just works better.
And for a cold, try Advil Cold and Sinus, advanced formula for the cold season.
New H40 irons from Hogan. Once you start playing them, it's hard to stop.
Some baseball news 2 days before pitchers and catchers report. Cleveland continues to fortify its rotation, acquiring former Expo lefty Chris Nabholz for a pair of minor leaguers, and Michael Jordan scheduled to make his White Sox workout debut on Tuesday. UNLV and New Mexico State up next. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Patrick.
Tanya Harding's last day before she heads to Norway coming up after hoops on the next Sports Center. I'm Gary Miller. Stay tuned for the backside of our tripleheader.
Welcome you to the Pan American Center on the campus of New Mexico State University here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I'm Barry Tompkins with Larry Farmer. The Runnin' Rebels come in here 10-9. The New Mexico State Aggies 16-3, but coming off 2 successive losses. Let's take a look at the lineup brought to you by Dollar Rent-A-Car. For UNLV, Reggie Manuel is now 100%. He's been playing on a very sore ankle with Sunshine Smith, Didon Thomas, Patrick Savoy, and Kibu Stewart. Big scorer in the middle for UNLV. They are coached by Roy Massimino, 31-17 in his 2 years at UNLV. For the good folks in Las Vegas, however, that does not seem to be enough. For New Mexico State, Johnny Selby comes off his best game against UNLV in their first matchup. He had 14 points and 10 boards. Dockery, consistent scorer with DJ Jackson, Keith Johnson, and Rodney Walker. They will substitute liberally. Neil McCarthy winning as coach ever at New Mexico State, winning as coach ever in the Big Sky Conference. This guy has gotten it done everywhere he's been. 2 straight losses, as we said, though, on the road at Nevada, Reno, and Utah State, a 1-point loss at Utah State. First close game that the Aggies have lost this year. Is there a bottom line to this game, Larry?
Well, it's good to be home. Of course, if you're New Mexico State, road woes can be very tough, and when you've struggled on the road, you come back, you have a big ball game, especially a marquee game like the UNLV game always is here in Las Cruces. This is a great place to be.
A reach-in foul on Dockery as you look at Neil McCarthy. Neil sucking on a cough drop, as he has been doing most of this year. He lost his voice early in the year, and he's never really gotten it back.
Well, you know, you coach every day in practice, and then in the ball games, you got to talk over crowds when you're on the road. They're hostile crowds, and when you've got sensitive vocal cords, that can really take its toll.
Reindeer faced up for a 3 and never got it there. Here come the Aggies. They'll push it. Spotting up for 3 and missing the 3-point shot with DJ Jackson. Here comes Didon Thomas. 3-on-2. Lob for Stewart to the basket. Savoy, not Stewart.
Boy, that was set up all the way down the floor by Didon Thomas. He never really took his eye off the basket. He watched the transition. He waited until he had Savoy in a position to lob the ball to him with a strong finish.
One of the few times you'll see the Aggies beaten in transition also.
Well, the Aggies will pound the offensive board, which is good, but they're very quick, and they do a very good job once they pound the boards of recognizing when the ball has changed hands and they get back quickly defensively.
First game won by the Aggies at Las Vegas, 95-91 in overtime. Dockery with 6 seconds left on the clock. Here come the Rebels. They got him beat again. Manuel to the basket, too hard.
Never looked like Reggie Manuel really got his feet under him.
Did he get position? Yes. Now we talk about getting home being good news, and here's the reason why. New Mexico State with the 5th longest current home winning streak, behind Indiana, Gonzaga, UMass, and Tennessee Chattanooga. 23 in a row here at the Pan Am Center. Interestingly enough, though, UNLV has beaten them 8 out of 10. However, in the last 4, the Aggies have won 2.
UNLV started off in man-to-man. Now they've switched and gone zone defense. You'll see switching defenses throughout the evening by both teams.
Walker stepped on the end line. Uncharacteristic errors for the Aggies early in this ballgame.
It's awfully difficult to drive baseline against a good zone. If you have a seam, you drive and you hope that you can draw the defense and have an outlet pass on the opposite side baseline.
Manuel hits the 3. Manuel's a streaky shooter if he gets it going.
Very good spotting up, recognizing where the holes are on the floor and shooting the outside shot. He's also very creative, can go one-on-one and get his own shot.
Rebels suffered through a 4-game losing streak. Nice rejection by Savoy, and here come the Rebels again, 3-on-2. Thomas in the middle, good defensive job that time underneath by Jackson, not only to get his hand on the ball, but to control it. Length of the court to Walker, too hard, and Savoy clears.
Rodney Walker getting caught being quick and hurrying at the same time. He knew the defense was approaching, so he had to get the ball up quickly, but he hurried the shot and consequently missed a layup.
Bunches of turnovers from both teams early in this game. Walker too hard on the layup. Stewart clears.
Now, if you're UNLV, you've got to take advantage of this cold spurt, this cold start by New Mexico State. Build a cushion. Make sure you get good shots, get back on defense. Don't give up 2 or 3 shots, and try and build a cushion because you know New Mexico State will get the crowd involved. They'll get on a run, and they'll get right back in the game.
Lob that time for Walker. Credit Dockery. Kibu Stewart down low. He's tough in there.
Kibu Stewart is relentless without the basketball. He works very, very hard to receive the pass. He presents a very good target, and when he gets the ball inside, he's got one thing in mind, and that's to attack the basket.
The ball doesn't usually come back out once it goes down.
Well, he's got 5 assists on the year, but he's taken 133 free throws. So that means he's not getting a lot of passes, but he's really attacking, putting pressure on the defense.
Johnson misses the 3. Stewart with another rebound. Smith for Savoy. Nice defense by Jackson to step in front. And we're going to time out. 15:57 remaining first half. Aggies having a little trouble getting off the schneid. 7-2 UNLV.
I was in town for business, and thanks to the rental car, I had time to stop by the old neighborhood. The place hasn't changed a bit. Room for one more?
Can't be the shoes.
Gotta be the shoes.
Want to visit your old neighborhood? Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
Hey, it's gotta be the shoes, right?
Nope, it's the rental car. Yeah!
Call Dollar, the official car rental company of the NBA.
For years, I never even thought about it. Guess I just didn't want to face things. Yeah, I've been there. But now, my parents, they need real help. It's gonna be tight. We'll just have to manage somehow.
I got this guy at Payne Weber, put me in a mutual fund for my parents. Same time he set up my kid's college fund.
That long ago? How do you know about your parents back then?
He asked.
Hey!
you get D-Don Thomas tonight, you get Deion Thomas tomorrow night. He's averaging 20 a game for the Illini, 63% shooter down on the low block. It's Ohio State at Illinois. And after that, it'll be Kentucky down in Baton Rouge to do battle with LSU. LSU really needs a big win. Travis Ford and company will come calling. That's tomorrow night, 9:30 on ESPN. Well, you look at the numbers in this ball game so far, and for New Mexico State, not too good.
Not too good. And again, if you're UNLV, you've got to take advantage of this slow start. Build as big a lead as you can to try and weather any storm that you can sense that's going to come from the New Mexico State Aggies.
Corey Rogers is coming to the ball game for Neil McCarthy's Aggies. So too is Thomas Wyatt, who gets more minutes than anybody else despite coming off the bench. Haygood in the ball game for Rolly Massimino's Rebels. This is Savoy, got in the air and put it in.
Tough shot by Patrick Savoy. The ball actually got tipped by the defender, but he managed to hang in the air, change the shot up, and then swish it through for 2 points. Both teams playing zone defense.
This is Jarrett. He can shoot.
That's good ball movement, good patience.
Three-point shot by Jarrett. Won't go, but Rogers with a nice retrieval, I should say. Then a good pass down low, but again, they couldn't finish. Jump ball call, and the arrow points to New Mexico State.
But Johnny Selby, who shoots 53% from the floor, just got caught by surprise. There you see the nice pass by Keith Johnson, the interior pass inside, and Selby really kind of gets caught maybe too far beneath the plane of the backboard, too near the baseline, and really couldn't finish, although that's a very makeable shot for him. He's a terrific inside player.
A little over-aggressive for Keith Johnson, and he's whistled for the foul on D-Don Thomas.
Keith Johnson will play up front now in this. It starts off 1-1-3, but on the first pass, it really becomes a 3-2 zone in which they can trap if they choose.
Manuel for three, it won't go. Second try by Savoy won't go. Third try, Stewart, fouled by Rogers.
Early on, I've just gotten the feeling that there's a lack of concentration by both teams inside because very, very good looks at the basket, 5 feet and in. And both teams have just not been taking advantage of those looks and scoring.
So Stewart will go to the line. He's been there 45 times more than anybody else on his team.
You like to teach your big men when they get it inside, their first look is to score. And he's very, very quick, and he's got long arms. And he's deceptively fast with his first step, and he can get the ball in great spots before the defense has a chance to come down and double team him. So consequently, he gets the ball inside, and he's really getting a lot of shots.
See what he's looking at as he makes that free throw. 1 out of 2 for Keith Stewart. He's got 3 points. It's an 8-point Rebel lead. Dockery underneath, almost too far underneath. No basket. Foul before the basket. Well, 1 basket for the Aggies in 5.5 minutes in this ball game.
Man-to-man defense now out of that baseline inbounds. UNLV will play very, very aggressively in this defense.
This is Wyatt, too hard. Rogers the rebound. Gets back underneath, gets it off the glass. Nice effort by Corey Rogers.
Really was. Corey Rogers, an excellent three-point shooter, just took the ball right at the defense inside.
And again, a foul before the basket. DJ Jackson comes back into the ball game for the Aggies. And Sunshine Smith back into the ball game. As you look at the team foul situation, and it does not bode well at this juncture for New Mexico State. Long way to go in this first half. Good look by Manuel, but he can't get it to go. And the rebound to Wyatt. Wyatt started his career at Utah. Johnson the penetration and the kick out and a travel. It's a good call.
Yes, it was. DJ Jackson, who's an excellent three-point shooter, used the up fake to free himself from the defense, but he got happy feet, really didn't get his pivot foot set and push off to free himself from the defense, and consequently, he traveled.
Good effort by Rogers, but he's on the sideline. Rogers has been a factor for the Aggies since coming on. Neil McCarthy's got to be very happy. His team's not shooting the ball well at all, and they only trail by 6.
And if you're Rolly Massimino, you got to be a little bit concerned because, again, Mexico State is really not in the ball game, and you want to take advantage of any opportunity you can to get a cushion, to get a wider margin.
Jackson for 3 won't go. Rebound to Stewart. He's got a bunch of them early in this game. And all the way to the basket, Sunshine Smith. Leading scorer in the Rebels' win over Long Beach Stadium at 16 points.
Damian Smith, number 22, at full speed, went through his legs instead of going sideline, went to the middle of the court. It's a great open court move by Sunshine. There you see the outlet pass by Stewart, almost intercepted. And watch the crossover right there. He went through his legs, and that really set up the defense. Fake Dwayne Badbury to the inside, or to the outside, went inside, made the layup. It's a great open court move.
12-4 ball game, 13-13 remaining. As Jarrett comes back into the ball game for New Mexico State, Jackson leaves. Dockery with 2. Dockery has been very consistent for New Mexico State. However, their free throw shooting is not good.
It's been consistently bad, although it, according to Coach McCarthy, when we spoke to him earlier today, it really picks up late in ball games and in overtimes. But he said it gets them into a lot of trouble. It keeps games close because they don't make free throws early on.
Cost them dearly in their last 2 losses. They just did not shoot free throws well. They were 5 of 15 at Nevada Reno, 12 of 25 at Utah State. Stewart blocked by Jarrett. Jump ball call, and this one is going to be New Mexico State's.
There you see Kibu Stewart attacking, and Jarrett just goes up strong and gets the right hand on the ball and deflects it away. I think he really surprised Kibu Stewart. It's good defense.
Bradbury from way out misses. Second try by Dockery and a grab by Haygood. Well, we talked a little bit about the game that these two played back in January. It was on the day of the earthquake, as a matter of fact. 95-91. New Mexico State won it in overtime. They had to scramble to get it to overtime. 3-point field goals were pretty comparable, and the free throw shooting as well was comparable. But the rebounds, New Mexico State, as you were indicating earlier, they crashed the offensive boards, and that really was the difference in that ball game.
They're so athletic, and they really, as a team, they assume the shot when it goes up is going to be missed, and they all spread out and they attack the board. And you know, sometimes their best offense is a missed shot.
Dockery 1 of 3 at the line. You see his numbers for the year. They have 3 players on this team who shoot from the field at a higher percentage than they shoot free throws. Dockery missed the follow. Going to be the Aggies' ball. Well, the Aggies have a lot of chances. They have not finished well tonight.
There just seems to be a lull, a haze that's settling over the New Mexico State team. And again, I would be very concerned if I was Coach Massimino. I would want to get a bigger cushion. You've got to take advantage. When you get a guy, you get him hurt just like in boxing, you want to get him out. Give him the knockout blow.
Going to be out of bounds to UNLV, and the shooting woes continue for New Mexico State, shooting it terribly.
Mexico State went to a press, and they really didn't get it set up properly in the back, which is why UNLV was able to break the press with just one single long pass.
Savoy blocked by Jarrett again. Savoy runs it down.
Paul Jarrett just doing a terrific job of crossing the lane, help side, getting his hands straight up.
Sunshine Smith can't get the 3, and Jarrett runs it down. Jarrett has given Neil McCarthy some valuable minutes. Incidentally, this is his 21st birthday today. Down low it goes, and Ryan has the triple. Called jump ball. It's going to be the Rebels' ball, I believe, on the alternating possession. Little exchange of words between Bradbury and Smith. We got a timeout, 11:34 remaining first half. UNLV leads the Aggies by 5. It's 12-7.
So you're really giving all this up?
Who knows what's right? All I know is how I feel. And I'm feeling I missed enough of Jenny's life already. I don't want to miss any more.
You guys going to be okay on one salary?
Actually, our broker at Payne Weber made it a little easier. When she heard I was pregnant, she got us to start investing long term to give us more options down the road.
How'd she know you were thinking about all this back then?
I'm not sure I was. Until she asked.
Hey! What? I don't think it's gonna fit the billboard.
Gotta fit.
Presenting McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, with 2 juicy quarter pound patties of beef.
Okay, it fits.
Where are you gonna put the fries and the Coke?
The what?
With large golden fries and a medium Coke, it's our new double quarter pounder with cheese extra value meal.
Okay, fit.
Now where are you gonna put the arches?
The what? What you want is what you get.
The double quarter pounder with cheese extra value meal.
At McDonald's today.
Leave it to Delta to design a stylish and practical faucet that works with you in perfect harmony. No matter what the situation.
Oh, honey.
Party?
Honey, though, I think I got this. Listen.
Delta, the way water is brought to life.
Well, more college hoops coming your way Wednesday here on ESPN. Get us underway at 7 o'clock Eastern Time as the Boston College Eagles head down to Miami. Point guard Howard Isley, one of the leading shooters in the Big East Conference from three-point range. And then to the ACC, where Virginia travels to Duke to take on the number 6 Blue Devils. Cherokee Park's playing great basketball this year. 15 points, 9 boards, shooting at 57% from the field. That's Wednesday night right here on ESPN.
Number 34, Paul Jarrett, known as PJ, had just blocked a couple of shots. And here you see the nice interior pass to Thomas Wyatt, who gets the gift and goes up strong and finishes the play for 2 points.
Now New Mexico State just simply not getting it done, shooting 19%, and they trail by only 5 points. We saw that compared to what their season-long average is, and here's another turnover.
Change of defense that time out of the timeout by Neil McCarthy. Went 1-3-1 zone to give UNLV a different look defensively.
Jam it down low, and Selby missed the shot, had it blocked, I believe.
A lot of contact inside, and that's Johnny Selby's game. He really likes to bump and bruise inside and finish plays, and just a half a step off his game as the entire New Mexico State team seems to be at this point in the ball game.
Manuel surrounded, and Selby fouled it. See what they're doing down on the low block against this man, Kibu Stewart.
Well, that zone defense is designed to really pack it in and really test the outside shooting of UNLV. You front him, you back him, you come from the help side. That's a swarming defense really designed to force the offense to beat you from the outside and not pound it on the inside and put a body on it when the shot does go up so you don't give up the second shot on the offensive board.
Dockery comes back into the ball game, and Wyatt leaves for the Aggies as Manuel at the line with 3 points, now 4. Keith Johnson back into the ball game. Bradbury leaves, and Savoy back in for William Massimino's Rebels. Sunshine Smith will sit.
A sea of dots waving behind the basket.
That'll make you crazy. We talked about the fact that this is the only show in town, and believe me, it is. They line up outside the Pan American Center starting at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's a 10 o'clock Mountain Time start. Rogers for 3.
Corey Rogers with instant points. He's like Fred Brown. He comes in the ball game and he's immediately looking to shoot.
Aggies talking a lot of stuff out there right now.
Kibu Stewart Moves without the ball, gives a nice target, catches, immediately drop steps. Might have been a little contact down low, but Selvey certainly got the ball once the shot was in play and knocked it out of bounds.
And we got a timeout. 10:27 remaining first half. Aggies starting to get themselves in gear. It's 14-10. UNLV. We'll be back.
For nearly a century, First National Bank has called this beautiful southern New Mexico Valley home. We've provided capital for agricultural, commercial, and high-tech development, loans for people to improve their homes and improve their lives, and a safe, secure place for your money. And we're dedicated to continuing that service for many more years, because after all, this is our home too. First National Bank of Doña Ana County. We're here for you today. We'll be here for you tomorrow.
Trip to the college championships by scoring on the phone with ESPN's three-point shootout contest. 3 winners go to the College Slam Dunk and three-point shooting championship to compete for a legendary Nissan 300ZX. To enter, call 1-900-40-SHOOT. 95 cents per call, must be 18 or older, or send a postcard. No purchase or phone call necessary. Shoot to win with ESPN's three-point shootout. Sponsored by Pizza Hut and Quaker State.
Barry Tompkins with Larry Farmer back in Las Cruces, New Mexico. 4-point lead for UNLV. Kibu Stewart drawing a crowd down low.
Well, he gets hacked here twice. First by Corey Rogers, he gets him. Johnny Selvey gets him, and when he doesn't hear a whistle, Selvey says, well, let me just knock this out of bounds. Welcome to the inside here at the Pan American Center.
Well, we talked about the fact that UNLV's, or rather New Mexico State's not shooting it very well as you look at the block shots there. UNLV's not exactly lighting it up either. They're only at 33%, 5 of 15. Aggies, just 4 of 18. Got a foul on Johnson.
Johnson being assessed that foul because Dedon Thomas did a much better job of getting to the ball quicker. And once he gained possession of the basketball, there was contact, and therefore Keith Johnson got the foul. There's a nice double team out of the zone. And again, Dedon Thomas just doing a better job of getting to the ball quicker.
Dedon is hurting a little bit, and not just from that. A little bit earlier, there was some contact on the sideline on the far side of the court. And he came up gasping a little bit. He still is. Looks like he might have hurt a rib or maybe a hip pointer somewhere in that area.
He's an awfully tough kid, but there's not a lot of meat on that frame.
No.
You're going to feel any little knock and bruise that you get. Keith Johnson is just cat quick when he pushes the ball up the court. He's got a wide body, so it doesn't seem as quick as he really is, but he's very clever with the basketball. He's got a nice handle on the open court.
Post Thomas up that time, missed the shot. Out the basket, goaltender.
Savoy pleading his case to the underneath official. He's going to come off his man and slide in. That's awfully close. It looked from this angle, from the angle. That ball was still going up.
I'm not sure that ball was going to get there under any circumstances.
You've been on the road for 2 games. It's good to be home, Barry.
That's it. Gibson in the ball game for UNLV. 3-point shooter. And they will jump out and try to take that away from him. Got to travel.
And that's something you'll rarely see a player that penetrates from UNLV do, is walk once they dribble the ball into the paint. Coach Massimino every day in practice has his players work on dribble penetration, jump stop and shoot, or jump stop and pass to another teammate that's spotted up on the outside.
6 turnovers now for the Rebels, 4 for the Aggies. Jackson in and out. It'll be out of bounds to the Aggies. Let's take a look at the standings in the Big West Conference. New Mexico State now 8 up and 2 down. 3 games to the good of Pacific and San Jose State, with Long Beach State just another half game back. UNLV, well, when was the last time you saw this? 6-5 in the middle of the pack in the Big West. And really good news, I'm really glad to see Stan Morrison get it going at San Jose State. He's one of the good guys in college basketball coaching and deserves a better fate than he's had. This year he's got his team in one piece, which is the first time since he's been there that he can make that statement, and they're winning ball games.
Well, he's taken his lumps, and, you know, he's been patient. He's stayed with the program. He stayed with his kids, and they've really turned that around. Quite a surprise, but it really shouldn't be because he does a terrific job.
Big West tournament at Las Vegas, very much up for grabs. Conference is down a little bit this year. I don't think there's any question about that. Does not rank very highly. Selby missed the free throw. And the free throw shooting woes continue for the Aggies.
Johnny Selby, a very aggressive inside player, shooting 53% field goal wise, but 44% from the line.
You just need somebody to bump him at the free throw line.
Draw a little contact. He likes shooting the ball in the basket on contact. You know, his stroke doesn't look that bad. He doesn't really come over the top and fully extend his shooting arm.
There's Gibson for 3. Can't get the roll. And Jarrett with the rebound. Jarrett's played well.
Really has. He's come off the bench. He's really been animated on defense. He's blocked a couple of shots. He's gotten rebounds. He's made good passes. Just the kind of spark that you want to get from a player coming in to revitalize your basketball team.
Skip McCoy also in the ball game now for the Aggies. And already in this ball game, Neil McCarthy has played, I believe I counted 10 bodies. Dockery behind the screen, hits the side of the backboard, and Savoy clears.
Ooh. Not a good look at that one at all.
Gibson for 3. And a rebound by Stewart, a good rebound. Off of Stewart's knee, out of bounds. Stewart's having his problems tonight.
You know, the only mistake he made when he got the ball the first time, he recognized that the defense was collapsing, and he got it back outside, which ultimately resulted in Gibson getting an open shot. But when he got the offensive rebound, really wasn't in a position to score, put it on the floor to try and improve himself, and that's why he dribbled the ball off his foot. Got to play within himself.
Johnson, great penetration. What a move to the basket. Savoy faces up. Not a good shot. Dockery the rebound.
That's a momentum starter, that shot right there. Keith Johnson just goes right to the hoop and makes a layup. UNLV comes back and gets a 3, and boom, 2 seconds later, they're right back on defense.
Selby down low for the slam. And the Aggies lead for the first time. Well, your point is really well taken, Larry. UNLV had a chance to really put the hammer down and couldn't get it done. And now they trail. They missed 2 more shots and a loose ball. And finally, the call.
That was on Gibson. Gibson really being aggressive and going after the basketball and really just conceded the ball to New Mexico State and drew the foul.
Substitution for the Aggies, Thomas White replaces James.
Another look at the play down low for the Aggies.
Good pass inside by Jarrett. Selby with that wide body just shakes off the defense, drop steps, and powers the ball to the basket exactly like you're supposed to do. When you gamble down low defensively like that and you go after a steal and you miss, the defense really doesn't have a chance to rotate, and you're going to give up a duck.
Selby, the leading field goal percentage shooter in the JUCO ranks last year. 75%. Not quite as easy at this level.
That's good defense on that inbounds play.
Jarrett, a little hard. Rebound to Haygood, and here come the Rebels. Manuel for 3, won't go. Manuel's having his problem. Started out hot. Savoy the follow.
Well, that's a nice offensive rebound. Savoy literally took the ball out of the defensive player's hands, landed, went up strong, and scored.
You get it to Selby low again, and he draws contact.
Selby's game. You know, he's a banger. He really enjoys the combat that's played on the inside in the paint.
Substitution for the Rebels, Brian Kosovar replaces Keith Stewart.
Here's New Mexico State from the free throw line. We're talking about this 57%. Even though they lead the Big West, they're last in free throw percentage, 2 out of 6 tonight.
You know, you don't want to make a big deal of that out of that every day in practice, but you do want to make sure that you spend some extra time in some competitive free throw shooting drills to get your players to concentrate, because sooner or later that's going to be a factor, particularly in close ball games. Well, Bear, I'm looking at UNLV has just gotten some great shots. They've gotten some wide open threes and have just not buried it.
And until they earn the respect of the Aggies are going to drop down and take Keith Stewart out of the ballgame again. Right now, he is out of the ballgame.
Reggie Manuel's had a couple of great looks at the basket. He's a terrific three-point shooter. Kenny Gibson, who they brought in to shoot the three, he had a couple of wide open shots and just couldn't bury it.
And Hocevar in the ballgame now is a pretty good shooter, too. Savoy missed a shot, and Dockery almost knocked it in the basket, then came away with a rebound and was fouled. Good effort by Dockery.
And they got Patrick Savoy for that foul.
Patrick Savoy, his third personal, 7th team foul.
That's a big foul. That's his third. You know, oftentimes you teach the shooter. The shooter's rule is when you shoot, you want the shooter to follow a shot. An outside shot, you like him to follow to the broken line for the long rebound. Many times you'll see a player in frustration take a shot. The shooter knows where that errant shot's going to go before anybody else does. And because he shot and missed, he'll follow the shot, go over someone's back, and draw the foul out of frustration.
Dockery knocks the first free throw down. Savoy, incidentally, has to sit with 3 fouls. Dockery 2 out of 5 at the line now. And McCoy runs down the free throw. That's one thing. They miss him so bad, they get long rebounds. Hocevar comes up with a loose ball.
I've actually run plays, offensive rebounding plays, out of free throw situations.
Stewart blocked from behind nicely by Dockery. Puts up a reverse that won't go. And finally is called for the foul. Frustration foul.
They got the foul on Fred Haygood. You see, Kibu, he was underneath the plane of the backboard. That's a very difficult shot. He gets himself repositioned. Another difficult shot under the plane of the backboard. Bodies flying everywhere. And somewhere in the midst of all that, they got a foul on Fred Haygood.
So Dockery back at the line. Boy, D-Don Thomas, every time he steps into the lane to cut off Dockery, steps right on him. That's the 3rd time that's happened. Dockery's getting a little tired of it.
You can do that and sort of distract the free throw shooter. You know, get him thinking more about the contact that you're putting on him than focusing on making the free throw.
Things not getting any better for UNLV. Sunshine Smith has an ankle problem. He is on the bench, and his return is questionable. Stewart with the loose ball, count the basket. And Manuel's complaining loudly that he should have had a foul called, and I think he has a pretty good argument. Nonetheless, nice effort by Kibu Stewart.
Well, again, he's relentless. He works without the basketball, does a good job of setting himself up and giving a target. There you see the nice baseline drive. There was no foul called on that. The ball comes to Kibu because he worked very hard. You'll see a lot of players from New Mexico State in an effort to go after the ball. They're slapping down, and the referees, I believe, are going to start clamping down on that. There have been several plays now where I believe there's been contact on the arm, particularly with Kibu, and they just have not been called.
Stewart gets it. Mentioned Sunshine Smith. There you see him with ice bag on the left ankle. Savoy on the bench with 3 fouls. McCoy for 3. And a foul underneath. Going to go against Jackson.
Foul number
But you've got to play smart now. The referees are really starting to blow the whistle, at least on what's happening as far as positioning for the rebounds.
They call that on Thomas Wyatt from behind, not on Jackson. So Brian Hocevar will go to the free throw line. He has something in common with one of our ESPN folks. He is from Cleveland, St. Joseph's High School, the alma mater of Clark Kellogg, who tonight is sitting in the studio with John Saunders.
I wonder if he broke any of Clark's scoring records. He averaged 19 points and 12 rebounds a game, Brian Hocevar. Clark, I'm sure, tell us he averaged a lot more than that.
And probably did. Thomas coming the other way, runs into a crowd, gets the grab.
A lot of fouls, defensively reaching in. D-Don Thomas in the open court. Really doesn't break stride when he changes. You see Selby reach in. You see Keith Johnson reach in. You work very hard defensively to teach your players to play defense from the ground up. Move your feet. Play body position. If you're going to reach in, don't sacrifice your position on defense to go after a steal. And if you're going to slap at the ball, slap up or slap to the side.
Bradbury comes in the ballgame. Keith Johnson will sit with his third foul. So Johnson with 3 fouls. Savoy with 3 fouls on the bench for the Rebels. And Thomas gets 1 out of 2. And we're tied at 21.
UNLV 2-3 zone. The chess match between the two coaches, changing the defenses constantly, trying to see if they can find a weakness in the other team's offense. And so far, Barrett's been outside shooting.
Wyatt with a leaner won't go. Stewart with a rebound has it knocked away. It'll be Las Vegas ball.
Corey Rogers, number 5 from New Mexico State. I came out and watched them earlier today in practice. And at the dare of one of his teammates, he threw the ball the length of the floor and called it nothing but net and swished the ball through. Length of the floor. Ran up in the stands after that.
Another situation be worth $1 million, huh? So that guy's playing for the Harlem Globetrotters. Did you see that?
Coach McCarthy came in, and when he heard about the shot, he told Corey Rogers, he said, save it for tonight.
Stewart missed the shot. Hocevar trapped. Now, I know Clark Kellogg never did that.
It was a terrific up fake to really get the defense up in the air. When he drop step, took his baseline move, he shuffled that pivot foot. It's so important to push off the pivot foot so you don't walk.
Jackson from way out. Yes. Haygood coming the other way. Had a lane to the basket and missed the shot. Bradbury clears. That was just a flat miss. Bradbury kicks out for Rogers. Steps inside. Might have overpassed.
And they're going to get DJ Jackson for that foul. Reggie Manuel. Bodies flying all over the place that time. The referee pointed down. There were 2 players there. I couldn't tell which one it was. You're right. That was a nice extra pass by Corey Rogers. That was a makeable shot for him. And you'd rather see a player pass up a shot to give a teammate a closer shot than to jack up a bad one. But he really did overpass, and he had a wide open look at the basket.
Jackson with a good stroke at the free throw line. Team fouls now. New Mexico State with 10 and the Rebels with 9. Still 3:43 remaining, so we're likely to see a lot of free throws. Stewart with another rebound. So the Aggies playing some tough defense. We're going to time out. 3:30 remaining first half. New Mexico State has come from 8 points down. They now lead it by 4. It's 25-21. We'll be back.
Category.
Music. Deep Purple, man. Classic.
Foreigner.
Huh? Yeah, man.
First album.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Hey.
Ah, Meatloaf.
Wonder what his friends call him. Me?
Mr. Loaf. How about My Sharon?
Beechwood Aged Budweiser.
well, right.
Supertramp.
Crisp, clean, classic.
Frampton comes alive. Moment of silence, please. Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, all right.
Tony and Diane get regular insurance checkups, just like they get regular medical checkups. I'm State Farm Agent Carlos Bermudez. I have been their State Farm agent 7 years. A family insurance checkup helps them make sure all their coverages are up to date. It's also a good time to explore options, like how their life insurance plan can be adapted to help with their daughter's college education. I think the family insurance checkup is something everybody can feel good about.
State Farm is there.
Where in the world would you go if there were no Las Vegas? For lunch, you'd have to fly to Europe. For dinner, all the way back to Los Angeles. And there's nowhere you can enjoy all this in one amazing place. Only in Las Vegas.
Well, if you didn't know it before, we're telling you now. SportsCenter is on in the mornings, too. And during the winter games from Lillehammer, our award-winning SportsCenter team will be bringing you live updates every morning, beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Tuesdays through Fridays, we get underway at 6:30. SportsCenter in the morning. Well, another pet expression of Clark Kellogg is a guy with hops. Here's a couple guys with hops.
Look, watch this. Off the backboard and 1-2. Yeah, but can they do that without those trampolines?
Ah, you got something. Those are the Bud Light Daredevils.
Can't wait to see them at halftime.
Been a few times I've been a Bud Light Daredevil now that I think about it.
That 3-2 matchup zone again by New Mexico State.
Yep. Very tenacious defense. Aggies have to make you crazy, I would think, on the defensive end.
And they change it up because they can go straight matchup zone. They can go matchup zone and trap. They can go matchup zone and trap out in the corners or in the wings. Really never know what quite to expect, but you've got to be patient against it and look to attack the zone from the inside out.
Saw the three-point shooting, and it was pretty ugly. Jim Stupin says to Skip McCoy that it went off his knee.
Well, whenever you can save the ball when it's loose, always save it. You never know what the referee has seen. And if you have an opportunity to grab it, don't ever assume that the referee has seen that it's going off the other guy. Grab the ball, now it's your ball, your team's possession.
Manuel will go to the free throw line as Bradbury picks up his second personal foul. Manuel with 5 points, and he's a guy who I would have to think Rolly Massimino would like to be more productive offensively.
Well, he's a very good scorer, streak shooter, finishes nice at the hoop, and you know, tonight he's had a tough time off of dribble penetration, getting the ball in the lane.
Reggie Manuel, one of the better free throw shooters in the Big West Conference, too. Just missed that one. Damian Smith in the ball game for UNLV.
Man-to-man defense by UNLV.
Rogers takes a fall-away three. Damian Smith for three. And Jackson finally controls it.
There's some miscommunication that time by the UNLV players.
Bradbury squared up, had a good look, missed the shot, and Hocevar clears.
That switching defense, when you go back man, you must make sure that everybody knows who their assignment is.
Hocevar with a leaner. 4-point lead now for the Aggies. Stewart knocks it out of bounds. A reminder that coming up at halftime on the Delta Faucet Report, John Saunders, Clark Kellogg tell you all about that thriller down in Oklahoma that preceded us. Big matchup down in the Sun Belt Conference, and we'll have Clark's concepts. And I'm sure a review of the talents of Brian Hocevar.
He's going to have to say something about that now, Barry.
Selby got it down low, and he's not going to miss too many of those.
Matchup zone again, and they're mixing up. Is a trap in the corner or not?
Stewart drew the foul.
Another reach in, that time by Bradbury. Again, it just goes back to those defensive fundamentals. You slap up, you don't slap down, you move your feet, you play defense from the ground up. You like the defense to collapse, but there you see the reach in. The referees are going to call that every single time.
Stewart at the free throw line has got 6 points in the ball game. Stewart and Manuel combining for 11 points. Bunch of boards, as you see. He's 2 out of 3 at the free throw line. By and large, though, they're doing a pretty good job on him.
Yeah, they really are. You know, and at the other end, when Kibu is on defense, he's got to try and get 3-quarter on Johnny Selby. And when that ball's in flight, jump to a position between Selby and the basket. It's an interesting matchup down low. Selby beat him the last time because Kibu really didn't do a good job of denying the pass and then jumping to position once the ball came inside. It's a game within the game, Barry. Love to watch those big guys fix it up inside.
Got a grab foul. They're going to get Damian Smith. Well, they call it on Brian Hocevar.
First personal, 10 team foul on the runner Evans. Indicates rid of the 2-shot bonus.
I remember when I worked for Don Nelson, the Golden State Warriors, we put on plays at the free throw line. You know, you've got the second position on both sides of the lane when you're shooting. We had a play that we called a cross, where the biggest guy on the lane would go to the opposite side of the basket. The smaller guy would loop around behind him, hoping that the 2 players assigned to box him out would bump into each other, freeing one of them up. We'd also bring a guy in from the outside. So even though you want your players to make the free throws, in the event of a miss, you have an attack play on to get the second shot, maybe even the 2-point field goal.
How many plays did Don Nelson have? I remember Rick Majerus telling me this. He had more plays than his players could possibly remember.
Well, I tell you what, when you work for him, it's like going to school. But I got a book of nothing but offense, and we used almost every single play in that book.
I believe that. Here's another turnover. Rogers standing 3. That's a tough shot. Thomas penetration, kick out. But they jump out defensively very well, and Kibu Stewart hammers it home and draws the foul.
Ron Coleman really hung out to dry that time. Not a lot he could do, but again, as evident by many of the New Mexico State players trying to reach, really set up good that time by dribble penetration by both Dedan Thomas. And there you see Kibu just attacks the basket. Kibu Stewart loves to get himself in a position where he can go right at the rim, which is why he has taken so many free throws this year. He doesn't do a lot in terms of getting the ball back out to the perimeter, but he does a great job of making the defense play him inside.
6th free throw he's had tonight. He's got 10 points and started to get himself loose under the basket with a little bit more consistency than early in this game. 45 seconds left in the half.
For UNLV here, you want to play good defense. Don't foul. Try not to give up a second shot. Hopefully you get New Mexico State to shoot early so you get one last crack at the basket.
Jarrett. Too long, and a follow underneath is missed by Coleman. He gets it back, loses the handle. Thomas gets a hand on it, and finally Wyatt picks it up. He goes down, kicks it out for McCoy, who missed the shot. And that's pretty much in microcosm the story of this first half. Still a loose ball. 10 seconds left. 7 seconds. Wyatt hits the 3. And gives the Aggies their biggest lead of the half. At the half. It's New Mexico State 35 and UNLV 28 after the first 20 minutes of basketball. I'm not real sure you could describe this one as pretty, but I suppose there are people who might have said that to Pablo Picasso also. Here's John Saunders.
All right, Barry, and I'm not sure this is a Picasso or a work of art, but it is the Delta Faucet halftime report. John Saunders here along with Clark Kellogg, and we will diagram what's coming up elsewhere. Take out the pen, the pad, the pencil, the chalk, whatever you want. We're going to draw some pictures and scores of highlights of everything else that happened around college basketball tonight. So stick around. Delta Faucet halftime report continues. It's 35-28.
ESPN's exclusive coverage of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Kit Kat, the chocolate crispy taste that's going to make your day.
You're going to eat chicken, you're going to really eat chicken.
This is outrageous.
It's delicious.
The Colonel's Rotisserie Gold.
It's made on a rotisserie.
And they marinated in all of these spices and herbs. And that's why it has so much flavor.
This is good chicken. So good that if you don't love the taste, we'll give you your money back. Guaranteed.
You get your money back if you don't like it. So what do we have to lose? Let's go.
The Colonel's Rotisserie Gold. Only at one place.
KFC.
KFC.
KFC. You know it.
We're KFC. We do chicken right. Leave it to Delta to design a stylish and practical faucet that works with you in perfect harmony. No matter what the situation.
Oh, honey.
Party?
Honey, though, I think I got this. Listen.
Delta, the way water is brought to life.
You are not getting the kind of athletes that we used to.
And you're telling me nobody's ever heard of this guy?
He's never been coached. He's totally raw.
Leon, please try not to step on the children.
Okay, all right. If I couldn't play basketball, would you be trying to get me in college? No. Be honest.
Nick Nolte and Shaquille O'Neal. Blue Chips, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 18th at theaters everywhere.
New Mexico State leading UNLV at halftime, and welcome to the Delta Faucet halftime report. We'll quickly now get to scores and highlights. We'll start in the Big 8. This was game number 2 of our triple header tonight. Nebraska and Oklahoma, both teams coming in 4-4. Great ball movement here.
Here you take a look. 4 guys get a chance to touch the orange from Nebraska. Bruce Chubbuck finishes it off. They were up by 10 early.
Calvin Curry, though, look where he launches this one from. Sooners led by 6 at halftime. Last 5 seconds of regulation. Nebraska works it around. Jamar Johnson hits it. We go to overtime. Pete Lewison up for the shot. Johnson with the pick. In alone, lays it up and in. It looks bad for Billy Tubbs and crew. But a couple of free throws. Nebraska has a chance to tie this game. Jason Clark doesn't even get rimmed. Danny Nee walks away with a loss, 115-111. He was actually up 7 in overtime. Eric Piatkowski fouled out of the game. A 13-4 run by Oklahoma. That was the difference. Calvin Curry, 33 points. Second straight game he's at a career high. On to the Big East, where we began tonight. St. John's and Seton Hall. Hall thinks with a chance they have a run and they will get to the tournament, although they hope to do it without this guy. On the break, Maurice Brown to James Scott. Hits and then hits the deck. And P.J. Carlissimo is meditating. Kick at this one. Brian Caver then with a 3 off the glass. Seton Hall then on the break. Caver to Karnisovas. Hits the layup and the foul. He had 22.
John Leahy going to make a nice driving move and then find Shaka Ship for the finish. Seton Hall able to go on and win by 10.
Brian Mahoney can look up and see a 10-point loss, 67-57, as St. John's goes to 11-11. The Hall ending a 3-game losing streak. Shawnell Scott left the game with a bad thumb, 2 points and 1 rebound. Florida Atlantic, a loser to West Virginia, 77-62. PG Green with 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks, a career high with the 29 points. Mercer loses at Alabama, 88-63. Jamal Faulkner had 21 points, the much-traveled Jamal Faulkner. NC against NC State, 85-64. Lakeisha McCullough with a good game, 19 points for State. They've won 3 in a row for the first time this year. In the Sun Belt, New Orleans facing Jacksonville here. Very important matchup, as a matter of fact. Matt Kilcullen needing a win to stay in the race for the title. Tony Madison drives, throws it up and in. Privateers are up early, Clark.
Here you take a look at Melvin Simon just housing his way to the rack. Good strong move. He had a double-double in the first half.
Yeah, 11 boards and 10. points. Marcel Martin with the rebound, the dish to Jeremy Livingston. He lays it in. Three-point game at halftime. Tony Madison outside the arc, knocks down the three-pointer. New Orleans the winner 64-56. Tony Madison finishing with 14 points. New Orleans second place now in the Sun Belt, just behind Southwest Louisiana. They were a winner in a tight one over Texas Pan American, 57-53. Michael Allen had 23 points and 4 assists, but Byron Starks scoring 6 points for Southwest to break a 51-51 tie. We'll continue with more in just a moment here on the Delta Faucet Halftime Report on Big Monday.
This halftime report is presented by the Delta Faucet Company. Delta, the way water is brought to life.
In business, there never seems to be enough of it. And the last thing you can afford to do is run out of it. Time. So rest assured, Delta Airlines will help you make the most of it. With over 4,900 flights a day to over 300 cities around the world. And best of all, we'll make sure you arrive relaxed and refreshed with plenty of time to spare. Delta Airlines.
If Michael's out there still playing, the message is clear. Here's a guy, the greatest player of all times, letting nothing stand in the way of him doing what he loves to do. And that's just play basketball.
I think he had to get away from everything. It all overwhelmed him. I could understand Michael playing in disguise.
You can't blame the man. The man just want to play the game.
I think that he had gotten so tired of the hype and so tired of the media that he wanted to find a place that he could play and really just have fun.
I think he's a little bored. I think he wants to come back for the competition, wants a chance to come out and score some points and play against his old friends again.
I think Mike is doing this just so he can get away from the insanity of pro basketball, the hype, the pressure,
the media,
the refs, the commercial. No, I think he's scared of me.
Well, maybe Mike's doing this because he just wants to be a player again.
Three decades in the making. And worth its weight in gold. The all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it was and more. It's Motor Trend Car of the Year.
Welcome, everyone, to the Delta Faucet Halftime Report. Important matchup in the Mid-Continent tonight. Wisconsin-Green Bay facing Northern Illinois. And let's get to that highlight with the black sneakers there. It's like the Twilight Zone for a moment there. Chris Westlake with a tough three-pointer at a career-high 14.
Dick Bennett's team's always known for unselfish play. John Martinez on the penetration. Look at 3 defenders around him. That leaves Jeff Norgard loose inside for the deuce.
And the guy who brought his couch to the game, get a free ticket for that. Logan Vanderverden with the fake off the glass, 73-67. Dick Bennett got the win, but he didn't look like it. 73-70 is the final. Norgard with 21 points and 9 rebounds. Wisconsin-Green Bay 12-1 in the Mid-Continent, their best ever conference start. Still in that conference, Wisconsin-Milwaukee, a loser to Illinois-Chicago, 83-66. Kenny Williams with 21 points for the Flames, their best record in 10 years. They're 14-6. Valparaiso against Western Illinois, close one in double overtime, 94-92. David Redmond with 34 points in the contest, including 7 three-pointers. Lance Barker, the three-pointer with 1:07 to go. That was the difference in the contest. Murray State and Tennessee Tech as we move to the Ohio Valley Conference. Tennessee Tech has been a very tough year. Maurice Houston steals the inbound. Robert West converts the layup. Tech is down by just 4, though. They call the timeout and set up the play. Reggie Mayo nails the three-pointer with 9 seconds left. They are down only 2. After Lawrence Russell makes a couple of free throws, Nadley with the final shot is no good. Would have been a 2 anyway, and they end up losing by 3. Murray State wins it 89-86. Marcus Brown finishing with 30 points. Murray State, their 6th consecutive win. They lead the Ohio Valley Conference at 12-1. Tennessee State against Eastern Kentucky, close 4-point game. Carlos Rogers with 24 points, 5 rebounds. 5th consecutive game he has gone over 20 points. And in the MEAC, Bethune-Cookman, no match for Coppin State, but nobody has been in the conference. Coppin State, a 12-game winning streak, and they are perfect 12-0 in the conference. Sidney Goodman had 31 points, including 5 3-pointers. More to come in just a moment. First, some scores. Tennessee Chattanooga winner over Marshall, 81-77. John Oliver, 3-pointer with a minute left, gave the Southern Conference leaders their 4th straight win.
Getting a good price from a car dealer can be a little tricky. Most dealers jack up their prices with extra profit stickers for things you don't need. That ends up costing you a fortune. Now you don't have to play that game. At the Borman Automotive Group, we promise you the most competitive price around in just 5 minutes with no hassles. We call this the 5-minute deal. You'll call it the only way to buy a car. The Borman Automotive Group, Las Cruces, Deming, and Truth or Consequences.
Your time is here. That sun with feeling says your time is here. An open door to all your dreams so near, giving a helping hand, a vision of a bold new plan. Sun West Bank, your time is here.
More of the Delta Faucet halftime report. Old Dominion, a big win over UNC Wilmington. Odell Hodge at 22 points, 5 rebounds. Old Dominion in 2nd place alone in the Colonial. Super Tuesday coming up tomorrow night. Start things in the Big Ten. Ohio State and number 24 Illinois. Then Kentucky, ranked number 4 this week. On the road in Baton Rouge to face LSU.
Morning. Okay, hold on.
Delta Faucet has over 1,000 different styles of faucets to choose from.
Just a sec.
So there's a Delta Faucet that's right for everyone's needs.
Oh, okay, I'll get the food, you get the water.
Delta, the way water is brought to life.
And don't forget to turn it off.
You don't think a car can change your attitude? Watch. Take this guy, give him a probe, lose the sweater, change the hair, voila. Or her. Give her an Escort GT, lose the glasses, make over city, and bingo! Whoa, this guy needs a Ranger bad. Let's do that grunge thing, and off you go. A lot of work here. Definitely Mustang. Lose the pocket protector, heck, lose the whole outfit, and throw that man a wave. Ford, serious attitude adjustment.
Robert, we're ready. Okay. Got it warmed up? Yeah.
Before a Robert Yates engine makes it to the track, it's torture tested right here.
Well, let's do it.
And there's only one motor oil Yates relies on for complete protection. Haviland Formula 3. The same Haviland Formula 3 you can buy right off the shelf.
215 degrees, 8,700. That's race ready.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Running like a winner. That'll get the job done.
I'm State Farm Agent Jeff Libby. One of the most gratifying parts of my job is helping young parents, people who are just beginning to understand what life insurance is all about. Young couples don't need a sales talk. They just need to talk to someone who understands them and their life insurance needs. Now, I know what that promise of security means, and I don't believe there's a better promise a parent can make.
State Farm sells life insurance.
ESPN's exclusive coverage of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Barry Tompkins and Larry Farmer back at the Pan American Center here in Las Cruces, where the home team, the New Mexico State Aggies, lead the UNLV Running Rebels by 7 at halftime. And Larry, I've just been sitting here musing to myself what Neil McCarthy must be thinking at halftime. Boy, what an ugly first half, and we lead by 7. What must Rolly Massimino be thinking?
Well, you know, both teams have been really sloppy, and I think Rolly would have preferred to have gotten off to a much better start than he had. I think had he been able to give himself a cushion instead of being behind 7, maybe the score would be tied now.
Frustrating first half for Kibu Stewart, who's been a big scorer for the Rebels.
Well, the zone is sagging around him. New Mexico State doing a very good job of being aware of where Kibu Stewart is and making sure they get bodies around him and on him. He gets his shot blocked there. Reestablishes a position, really takes a tough off-balance shot. There's a lot of body contact, and you can see he's just so frustrated because he didn't have an opportunity to score. But he's a relentless offensive player, just continues to work without the basketball. You let him get the ball inside where he gets a clean look at the basket, he's a strong finisher. He'll finish there or he'll get fouled.
For New Mexico State, neither team really shot it well from the perimeter, but toward the end, the Aggies started to get it cranked.
Well, Corey Rogers is a streak shooter. He can come in and put up big numbers, and there you see him below a Valentine's Day kiss to the student body.
And here are the numbers in the first half, and they're not very pretty. 31% shooting for New Mexico State, which is not awful considering they were around 18 for at least half of the first half. UNLV at 29%, neither team shooting it from beyond the arc, 1 of 11 and 4 of 14. Kibu Stewart in the last game with these two teams, 28 points, 14 boards, 10 points and 10 boards tonight. And of those 10 points, 6 of them coming in the closing moments of the first half. I would have to think, and I'm not trying to play coach here, you did that, but Neil McCarthy has got to be saying, hey, I'm going to zone you until you start shooting.
Yeah, well, the strategy's working. Plus, with all the fouls, I'm sure Coach McCarthy got on his players at halftime and told them to play defense, whether it be man or zone, more with the feet, play the passing lanes and stop reaching so we don't get everybody in foul trouble and force UNLV to break the zone over the top.
And Savoy just lost his footing. Savoy with 3 fouls in the first half, and he was a contributor offensively before having to sit for about 8 minutes of the first half. He had 7 points.
Well, he's also a very good three-point shooter. He's taken 36 on the year and made 13. So against that matchup zone that New Mexico State's running, he's going to be very important in the second half as a player that can step out along with Reggie Manuel and knock down some threes to loosen up that zone.
Lob to Selby. And a foul over the top. They might have got Savoy. That'll be his 4th. The way they lobbed that ball in, you got no choice but to foul the man.
Well, see, the ball goes over the top of Kibu, and really Patrick Savoy rotates over like you should and gets his hands up in an effort to really prevent a layup. But the contact's made, and the referees deemed that the contact on the pass was a foul.
And Rolly Massimino's just going to leave him out there with 4 fouls and a long, long way to go. Well, Hocevar now waits to come in. I trust he'll come in for Savoy. I would have to think they'll try to take this to Savoy. Well, they got a turnover. So D-Don Thomas gets it for the Rebels. Give it up on the wing to the basket to Manuel. His first basket since the first basket of the ball game.
That's a nice fast break by D-Don Thomas. He might have thrown the ball on the bounce a little bit behind Reggie, which is why Reggie Manuel bobbled the ball, but that's the kind of play you need. You want to get that first 5 minutes. All coaches talk about it. Get off to a good start the first 5 minutes of the ball game or a half, and it's so important on the road to establish yourself.
Well, the Rebels got out early very well in the first half. Jackson misses a jumper, but Selby runs down the rebound. But you made the point that, you know, again, to make a boxing analogy, when you get the man hurt, you got to put him away. Well, they had the Aggies hurt. They didn't put him away. And Dockery comes out limping, might have rolled an ankle. Speaking of rolling an ankle, Sunshine Smith will not be back in the ballgame. There was some talk that perhaps he might. They had it retaped at halftime, but then when they looked at it closer, they decided he will not come back.
There's a missed shot. Players, now the ball's loose like that, and there you see the grab in the open court. When the ball's loose like that, you want to see your players run the ball down, get their knees bent, and pick it up with two hands. Not try and dribble it, not try and tip it to a teammate, but to gain possession of the ball. So often you see it looks almost like a volleyball match or a soccer match. You bend down, you pick it up, you maintain or take over possession of the ball.
Reggie Manuel. And he starts out quickly in the second half, backing up baskets. And it's a three-point ball game.
Now that's the move that I talked about, Reggie Manuel with the good up fake to get the defender up in the air, thinking he was going to shoot the three-point shot, putting it down on the floor, coming to a jump stop so he's under control, and then burying that medium-range jump shot.
Manuel's got 10 now, as does Stewart. Just threw it away. Rogers threw the ball one way, Dockery cut another. Dockery and Rogers whooping each other a little bit.
Whooping? We used to say that in the old days on the playground. Now they say it's trash talk.
That's right.
You go back a ways, Barry.
Listen, I know, that's true.
But I did understand that. That's good ball move.
Stewart hammered. And he will go to the line again. A great ability to get himself to the free throw line.
He's shooting about 10 free throws a game. You know, when you handle a zone like that on the outside where you get good ball movement, you got good interior movement, there's no way that zone defense can move as quickly as the ball, and that's going to create gaps on the inside. Just excellent ball movement by UNLV to get the ball inside to Kibu Stewart.
Stewart knocks down the first, and it's a two-point ball game, and the Aggies starting out the second half very much as they did the first, and that is flat.
You know, you can get a team like this and catch them in a daze, and when they wake up, when they finally come to their senses, again, if you can build a big enough lead, you can withstand a comeback and have a very good opportunity to sneak out of here with a win.
Dockery won't go. Stewart another rebound. He's got 11 boards in the ball game now. Manuel all the way to the basket, won't go.
I thought Reggie Manuel should have jump stopped and pulled up and shot a bank shot. That's to his strength. Took a much tougher shot than he had to.
Johnson is hammered by Stewart.
That's good sportsmanship.
Yep.
You knock the guy's hairstyle sideways, and you go over and pat him on the butt and say, "Are you all right?" Nice drive that time by Keith Johnson. He's really strong, Keith Johnson. Gets to the hoop and his lower body. See, now right there, Johnson's got his eye on the basket. He knows he's going to get the contact, and all he's concerned about now is getting it up so he'll have an opportunity for, if not two, the three-point play.
We talk about a good stroke at the free throw line, and that is not one.
It's just a matter of concentration, not over the top. Really doesn't get that arm fully extended, and that's probably why when he shoots, he's either long sometimes or short. Not very consistent in his release.
Manuel somehow got the shot off, but it never got to the basket. Here come the Aggies. Jackson for three.
There's just no excuse for that on an inbounds. You want to be able to get the ball in quickly and get the ball into the attacking zone. But what happens, there's a three-point shot. That's in. So now it's a foot race. Basketball's transition offense and defense. Dedan Thomas breaking his concentration, looking up the floor, and really starting to move with the ball before he had complete control.
Johnson penetrate, kick out Wyatt, won't go. And Stewart with another rebound.
Boy, Kibu Stewart's really cleaning the glass.
Hocevar had a good look, missed a shot. Here's Rogers one-on-one with Thomas. Wyatt fills. And a foul on Hocevar.
They're going to get Osafar for that foul, but Thomas White very fortunate not to get called for a foul using his offhand. There's White putting it on the floor. Makes a nice pass down the floor to Corey Rogers. And now Corey really sets up the defense. Hits the trail man. And again, you see the offhand of Thomas Wyatt moving into position, and very fortunate again not to get called for pushing off on that shot.
Wyatt with 8 points off the bench for Neil McCarthy. McCarthy played 11 players in the first half, and all of them took at least one shot. We got a timeout. 15:33 remaining in the ball game, and the Aggies have stretched it out once again to 7. It's 41-34.
3 decades in the making. And worth its weight in gold. The all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it was, and more. It's Motor Trend Car of the Year.
Observe dry eyes, red eyes, symptoms for which science created Clear Eyes. Unlike the other leading eye drop, Clear Eyes removes redness and as an ingredient to moisturize. The difference is clear. Clear Eyes.
I was in town for business, and thanks to the rental car, I had time to stop by the old neighborhood. The place hasn't changed a bit. Room for one more?
Can't be the shoes.
Gotta be the shoes.
Want to visit your old neighborhood? Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
Hey, it's got to be the shoes, right?
Nope, it's the rental car.
Call Dollar, the official car rental company of the NBA.
Well, Big Monday gets even bigger next Monday as we start underway at President's Day with what else? George Washington against Rhode Island. Inkadare kicks it off at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and then a triple header. St. John's and Providence in the Big East get us underway at 7:30 Eastern Time. Then at 9:30, we go to the Big 8, Oklahoma State and Colorado. Then it's out to the pond in Anaheim, where Memphis State visits Long Beach State. 4 games, President's Day. Bud Light, Big Monday. Didon Thomas with a good look and the basket.
Rare 3 from Didon Thomas. Now he's critical in keeping that zone honest and making the zone extend out to guard him. When he's not taking that outside shot, all teams in the league play off him and really force Didon Thomas to penetrate the score.
Johnson did everything but finish. Gets it back, and this time he does finish. Now are they going to say the basket was good? No, they're going to say the foul was before the basket.
Well, number 3, Reggie Manuel, his second personal, 4th team foul on the Red Rebels. Falls out of bounds to the Yankees.
Keith Johnson, one of those rare players that while he's in transition, his dribble is a lot higher. You watch it, it looks almost awkward. But he maintains control of the basketball, keeps good floor vision, and he's very unselfish.
There is Sunshine Smith, and we were told he would not return. However, you can see him in the bowels of this building just trying to get himself loose.
Gives him an element at both ends of the court. On defense, he's a presence, and on offense, he's a slasher and really can finish and shoot the outside shot.
Rogers just tried to do too much that time. Here comes Didon Thomas. Manuel for 3. And Rogers with the rebound. Well, you make a mistake and forget about it, come back and get the boards.
That's what you do. You go back and you get it back at the defensive end. You play good defense, and you try not to give up a scoring basket.
Rogers started his career at Northern Arizona, averaged 15 points a game in his first year of college basketball. Jackson for 3. Yes.
DJ taking a flop long after he let that ball go. He made sure that he got a nice rhythm up shot on the ball, but really kind of faked the flop to try and draw a foul on Fred Haygood. Referees didn't buy it.
Stewart drew the foul. Let's take another look at DJ Jackson.
DJ lining himself up and faking. No contact on the shot, but DJ fell down, hoping that the referees might see the flop and give him another shot at the 4-point play.
DJ transferred from Antelope Valley Junior College, where he broke all the records of J.R. Ryder. Not a bad player.
J.R. Ryder, yeah, breaking a few records of his own, like that slam dunk contest.
Yep.
Did you see that one that he did, Barry, through the legs?
Can't be done, can it?
We had a player years ago at UCLA named Gig Sims who had a similar dunk to that.
Well, we were told Sunshine Smith would not return, so wouldn't you know it, Sunshine Smith has returned.
He's an awfully tough kid. You know, you look at that body, and I've been told that he's gotten that body and he doesn't even lift weights.
Don't you hate that?
Some guys have all the luck.
I've gotten my body and I don't lift weights either.
Yeah, mine too.
That's the problem.
Mine bulges, but in the wrong spots. Good man-to-man defense.
Good ball movement. Dockery couldn't finish. Dockery gets it back. Still can't finish. Jackson gets it out of there. And is swatted from behind by Thomas. No foul.
That could be very demoralizing. You do everything you can defensively to make sure that you don't give up the easy shot, although that was a pretty good look at the basket. Now you'll just see players going after the ball, hustling, trying to get the loose ball, trying to get the rebound, and Bradbury winds up on his wallet.
Thomas got a hand on it, but Wyatt got it back and finished it big time.
Deon Thomas appeared to have stolen the basketball.
Well, what a nice look by Savoy down low to Stewart. Savoy, remember, playing with 4 fouls.
Savoy, junior, he's got to play smart.
Wyatt missed the shot. 3 Aggies there for the rebound. None of them get it. Good example of how the Aggies crashed the boards. Although today they do not have a big rebounding edge over Las Vegas. It was only 2.
There you see the steal. Deon Thomas thinks he has it, so all the UNLV players are headed down for the fast break, and the ball goes right to Thomas Wyatt. You know, you talk about hops. He's got great jumping ability. He really gets up and gets up quick. There's that anticipation of being a good fast break team. And when you see the ball going to a player on your team, you immediately start to lean and run down the other way. And unfortunately, if you really don't have the basketball and the other team gets it, you wind up giving up an easy shot.
Underneath, Manuel couldn't get it to go amongst the trees, and it's going to be out of bounds to UNLV. Well, we were talking about the rebounding tonight. Not much of an edge tonight, although it's getting, well, it's even 33 apiece tonight, as you can see, at a 15 rebound edge for New Mexico State in the previous game. That is one of the goals of Neil McCarthy's Aggies. They want to out-rebound you by 20.
You know, and UNLV is getting out-rebounded on the season. Teams are getting 43 rebounds to their 40, but they are in the plus. They've got 306 coming into this ballgame on the offensive board to 286 for their opponents. So they're getting beat on the defensive board, but they're doing a great job on the offensive board.
Bradbury got the roll. Wasn't pretty, but it went down.
Touch me. Shooter's bounce.
9-point lead, biggest of the ball game for the Aggies. And I think they're going to get Walker.
Rodney Walker just dismantling. You know, this has not been a pretty game. I think from a strategy standpoint, it's been very good with the changing of the defenses, but from a reaching standpoint, a fundamentally sound standpoint, it's just not happening. So many fouls are being called, and they're not smart fouls. They're the kind that just drive coaches crazy because there's reaching and slapping at the basketball and pushing and shoving underneath.
Smith is hammered by Selvey. Selvey saying, what'd I do?
The guy's not bleeding. He's still got his arms on.
That's right. You could serve time for that. Coleman will come back into the ball game now for Neil McCarthy, and Selvey will sit.
I would not want Johnny Selby to guard me playing anything. Basketball, ping pong, golf. He'd hurt you.
Fourth foul on Selby, and he will sit. He fouled out of the last game. Sunshine Smith just 2 points. Remember, he's coming off a 16-point effort against Long Beach State, but he went down early with that ankle and has just returned about 2 minutes ago.
High school teammate out of Oak Hill Academy with Stackhouse and McGinnis, both kids doing a terrific job at North Carolina for Coach Smith.
Well, we get a timeout with 11:53 remaining in the ball game. New Mexico State continues to lead UNLV, but the Rebels won't go away. 7-point game.
Okay, luge competition or bowling?
Luge.
Bowling. Okay, we'll watch bowling.
Miller Lite presents luge bowling. Boy, is he fast.
He better be, Bob, because here come those bowling balls.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything.
He's got the angle. Oh, no, it's a 7-10 split.
Oh, nice pickup.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
To play this game, you got to have the drive. You got to have the moves. You got to have the love. But most importantly...
Hey, man, you get the ball?
No, I ain't got the ball. You got it? Say what?
You got to have the ball.
Somebody better bring the ball.
Supposed to bring the ball?
Hey, Chumps. Want a game? The all-new Street Ball. It's a Rollings. It's only $4.99 and only at Pizza Hut. Get one, because nobody plays without the ball.
It is an entirely new class of luxury automobile, created to a higher standard. So responsive, its advanced V8 Northstar system makes passing and merging virtually effortless. And so spacious, it accommodates 6 passengers in complete comfort. It is a combination of qualities you've never seen before. Yet a single drive will make you wonder why you ever settled for less. Introducing the all-new DeVille Concours by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Well, Super Tuesday starts off with a matchup in the Big Ten. It'll be the Illini against the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Deon Thomas averaging 20-plus and hitting 63% from the floor. Nice player down low for Illinois. And then we go to the SEC, where number 11, Kentucky, has to play down at Baton Rouge against LSU. Tigers, of course, always tough at home. That's at 9:30 Eastern Time, Super Tuesday on ESPN. Take a look at the foul situation in our ballgame. Patrick Savoy playing with 4, and playing is the operable word. He is on the floor. Well, he's not on the floor right now, as Willie Massimino has taken him out. Selby with 4 on the bench for New Mexico State. 2 others with 3.
UNLV switching back again, man-to-man defense. And I think for their team and their quickness, this is probably their best defense.
Bradbury gives it up. And the Rebels converge on him, and the arrow points to Las Vegas. Shot selection for UNLV there, just 2 of 13 from beyond the arc. New Mexico State getting a little bit better. Remember, at one time, they were only 2 of 12, so they're 5 of their last 7.
And that 2 of 13 is even a more telling tale, because so many of those misses have been wide open shots, and the players that you would want taking those shots.
Manuel with the penetration. The floater won't go. The follow won't go. A third try by Manuel, and he's hammered.
Reggie Manuel was just not to be denied that time. Got himself in a pretty good position. There's the first shot on the penetration. Sort of carves out a little space for him there, for himself inside. The ball comes right back to him. Does a good job of grabbing the ball and then attacking the basket.
Dockery picking up his 4th foul. So Dockery and Selby each with 4 now. Savoy with 4 on the bench for UNLV.
You know, Barry, during the course of a ball game, and this is why coaches harp so much in practice about reaching. You get an early one, you get an early one, you get another one, and then maybe the referees make a bad call, or you get called for a charge block, and you get a legitimate call. Well, now you've got 3 fouls. In late in ball games, all those reaches come back to haunt you.
Manuel rolls it in. UNLV hanging around. It's a 5-point game. Manuel's got 12 now after a slow start. Dockery stays out there with 4 fouls.
that would be something at the other end I would take a look at, trying to get the ball inside to whoever he's guarding and see if we can challenge him and maybe get him to back off or pick up that 5th foul.
They got a grab away from the ball on Kibu Stewart. Here are the scoring leaders in the Big West. Reggie Manuel right now, number 3. Kibu Stewart has not yet played enough games to qualify. Actually, in the Big West, Kibu Stewart averaging 21 plus. Remember, he did not begin to play until 13 games ago, so they were 6 games into the season before Stewart could play. He was ineligible until that time. Tried to force it down low. Manuel stepped in front. And the Rebels can cut it. Billy Massimino playing a smaller lineup now with Smith, Manuel, and Thomas. Haygood and Stewart. Going to be out of bounds to New Mexico State.
Kibu everywhere with those long arms, really making a nice effort to try and get the offensive rebound, just not in a correct position to get it.
Good effort by Smith that time, and he knocked it off of Bradbury's legs.
Jermaine Smith's one of the best defensive players coming into the college ranks. Now there you see Bradbury in the spin, and you're taught on defense either in the run and jump or the double team. If the man with the ball turns his back on you, you run and you jump and you surprise him. Maybe you get him to pick up his dribble, maybe you get the steal.
Penetration by Manuel, shot won't go. Stewart the follow, got it. Stewart with 17. Walker the other way.
Rodney Walker choosing to drive to the basket as opposed to taking the short jump shot. Really does a good job of body control. There's a pass down the floor. Now, he really had a jump shot, but takes it right at the big man, takes it from one side of the basket to the other. That's a tough shot, shooting it as you're moving away from the ball of the board and putting it in the basket. Very athletic move that time by the Skywalker.
Call the foul on Manuel. Look down low to Wyatt for the slam.
Guys like Thomas Wyatt, when you can jump, they get up real fast, and it takes them an awfully long time to come down. He just kept going up and boom, dunked it. And you can't jump, boy. It takes you forever to get up, and you come down right away.
Manuel open for 3. And that quiets the crowd here. It's a 4-point ball game, 53-49. Stewart playing big right now. Manuel's got 15. Nice look that time, and Walker can't finish, but he gets it back and draws a foul on Hagan.
But there you see the pass from Johnson inside to Wyatt. Now watch how he gets up. Just seems to keep elevating, going up. And again, when you have great jumping ability, you go up and you just seem to keep going up.
Reggie Manuel has turned that ankle again. It kept him out of 2 ball games, and it has been very sore for more than a month. And I don't know if he's aggravated that again or not, but he leaves the ball game limping.
Now, he twisted that ankle at the basketball arena when the basketball arena was set up for ice hockey, and he sprained his ankle not even on the field of play.
Sunshine Smith playing on a bad ankle, too hard off the glass. Stewart tries to keep it alive, can't do it, and Jarrett runs it down.
There's that high dribble I talked about with Johnson.
And Wyatt can't finish. Boy, Aggie's getting high percentage shots and just not getting them down. And they call Walker.
But this year coming out of junior college, came in with quite a reputation as far as being an explosive scorer. He's all of that.
For New Mexico State. Gibson at the line to shoot.
Gibson's an interesting story. I've talked to Kenny several times, and you know, he's an education major, and his lifelong ambition has been to be a coach. He wants to be a high school coach. He said he wants to give something back to the kids. And I told him, so they don't have to worry about those teams that you coach having guys that can shoot the 3-point shot. That might be his specialty.
great, guys. He came over to the table just before we went on the air tonight. There was a little note in the New Mexico State press release that said, I've done 7 New Mexico State games and they've never lost one. And Gibson came over and said, I heard about that. I don't think I'm too happy about that.
Savoy playing very cautiously against D.J. Jackson. He's got to play off and just play smart. When you've got fouls, you don't want to quit defensively, make it easy for the man you're guarding to score.
Good individual effort, I'd say, by Johnson. Savoy.
Oh, tough shot.
55-53.
Catching the ball, gliding through the air, and keeping his focus.
And they're going to get Smith, and he might get a tee also.
He's got to be careful and keep his poise. That foul could have gone either way, but it's a 2-point ball game with 7 minutes, 51 seconds left to go. You don't want to put your team at any disadvantage by getting a technical foul now.
Good composure by the officials, too, not to call that.
You know, you'll see good officials do that when a coach is up, you know, ranting and raving as coaches do from time to time. You'll watch an official turn a deaf ear or turn his back or walk away and really give the sign of the body language. I am not going to tee. I'm not going to make myself a factor in this ball game because you're trying to get my attention or get my goat.
Bob Garibaldi, guy's been doing this sort of thing for about 30 years.
He's turned his back to me a few times.
Savoy. Good move without the ball by Savoy.
It really was. In the last step that he took, he made sure that he floated to the right and not towards the basket where he might have picked up an offensive foul.
Well, we said the Rebels are hanging around, and they are hanging around now. Indeed, the game is tied. Savoy, remember, on the floor with 4 fouls. That's been a big part of the Rebels' offense, too.
Yes, and UNLV in that zone now. They're going to test the outside shooting.
Well, Johnson penetrates, missed the shot. Savoy clears, and the Rebels can take the lead.
You zone. You always have to know where the shooters are. You cannot give up dribble penetration. That will destroy a zone defense if you allow players on the perimeter to get the ball in the paint and make decisions.
Well, he wants the Rebels to use the clock a little bit here.
Change sides with it.
Thomas forced the shot.
It's not a good shot in that situation.
And Wyatt the rebound.
You're going to be switching back now to man-to-man. That's good, but when you're switching your defense, you've got to make sure that everybody communicates.
Selby to Walker off the glass and in. Unselfish by Selby.
To make the extra pass, good things happen. Kenny Gibson that time was the help side, lost vision, man and ball, and wound up giving up that easy pass basket.
Got to think they'll look inside to Stewart here. Selby playing with 4 fouls. And there they go to Stewart. Stewart puts it in.
Nothing but good things have happened for UNLV when they've consistently gone inside to him. Either he's drawn fouls or he's created scoring opportunities for himself.
19 points, 17 rebounds. Not a bad line. And we got a timeout. 5:44 remaining in the ball game. Look at the scoreboard. Shows the Aggies and the Rebels tied at 57. We'll be back.
We are who you are at no appointment. You're the one setting the pace. You're the one creating the taste. We are who you are at no appointment. We are who you are at no appointment. Family hair colors.
Your time is here. That sun with feeling says your time is here. An open door to all your dreams so near, giving a helping hand. vision of a bold new plan. Son, West Bank, your time is here.
How do they do that? Kentucky and LSU do it tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern on Super Tuesday. We're clear.
Tied at 57, Barry Tompkins with Larry Farmer. Kibu Stewart started slowly, and boy, has he picked it up.
Well, number 4, Jermaine Sunshine Smith tries to penetrate, doesn't have a lane, and pulls it back out, makes the correct pass to the outside of the defense to Kibu Stewart, and he does the rest.
And here are the numbers on Kibu Stewart. Well, I lied. I said he had 17 boards. He's got 18 boards.
He's really picked it up and making himself a factor in this ball game, and especially inside. If they can get the ball into him and really draw the defense, and he can get it back out occasionally, boy, they're going to be a strong team the second half of the conference.
And remember, the tournament is at their place.
That helps.
Yeah.
And there's a 1-1-3 matchup zone, but he goes 3-2 as soon as the first pass is made.
Let's do it again. And remember, Dockery playing with 4 fouls. Selby's got 4 fouls. They're both on the floor. I just have to think that we're going to see more of that.
And you go after. The zone defense is being played by both teams to force the outside shot, to deny the ball inside, dribble penetration. But once the ball does get inside, players are going to have to make decisions. Do I challenge the shot, or do I just concede baskets?
Wyatt had a look, missed the shot. That's been the story of the Aggies.
Now, for UNLV, come down, run your half-court offense, make sure that you get good looks at the basket with opportunities to get second shots.
Manuel. That's Corey Rogers. He misses. Savoy another rebound. Here come the Rebels. 3-on-2. Smith had it fast-handed away by Rogers. Gets it back. Manuel steps in front. Drive to the basket. Offensive.
Reggie Manuel not believing that that call was made and that there was contact on the body. I think there's Sunshine Smith in the open court. Now he's attacking the basket. They really did have an advantage. The attempt to save by Bradbury, and the ball fortunately comes into Reggie Manuel. I think UNLV has been guilty of this.
Dockery makes them pay. And I think, incidentally, that was the right call.
Oh, it was. And I was going to say UNLV very guilty of over-penetrating. Penetrate with the purpose. Get the ball inside to score, or as you see the defense coming, as you're drawing the defense, you jump stop. You don't take it all the way to the defense where there's contact. If the defense flops, that call can go 50-50. So now there's Manuel. The ball comes to him, and he over-penetrates. He's trying to get the ball inside, but there's really no space for him to go. You know, either you take the jump shot or you pull the ball back out. You've got to reset at the 35-second shot clock, and you look to get a better shot.
Now, the same instance this time down the floor, however, and this was also the right call, as Bradbury did not get the foot down.
But you've got to penetrate with a purpose. When you do that, you take the referee out of the game. When you're going and you over-penetrate, that's when it can be that 50-50 charge block.
So that breaks the tie and gives the Rebels the lead again. Rolly Massimino.
Half-court game, Barry. This might come down to three-point shooting and free throws.
Much as the last game did. Very similar game to the last game, actually, although not quite as up-tempo.
Players much younger than the referees, but making the referees run after the basketball, that doesn't seem fair. Going to be man-to-man. Sooner or later, Bradbury is going to attack that screen.
Selby draws the foul on Stewart. And that is Stewart's 4th foul. And that's going to also be a factor in this game. Who can keep their bodies around?
Well, you really got to go to a game where if you're guarding a player inside and the ball does come in, you try and deny, and once the player catches the ball, you've got to back off and just try and get pressure on the ball, but make sure there's daylight in between you and the offensive player so you don't get called for the cheap foul.
So Kibu Stewart with 4 fouls, Savoy with 4 fouls, Manuel with 4 fouls, Dockery with 4 fouls, Selby with 4 fouls.
That a result of aggressive defense, but sometimes not very smart defense.
And the free throw woes continue for the Aggies. Selby actually above his season's average right now. And here come the Rebels. 3-on-1 if they push it. And they don't get it done.
Boy, Corey Rogers very fortunate not to get called for a foul going after that ball.
Smith gives it up to Manuel, can't get it. Savoy gets it back and can't get it and drew the foul.
Doesn't get the bounce, but did the smart thing. He knew he was going to get fouled. He got pushed, and on his way down, he got the ball back up at the basket and almost had an opportunity for the three-point shot. Nice interior passing at time. The Manuel attacks. There's a lot of contact down low. Misses the shot. Savoy stays on it, gets bumped, falls away, and the ball just trickles off the rim, and he doesn't get the kind roll for the 2 points.
So Savoy at the line.
.69% foul shooter.
Now he has a pretty nice stroke.
Yeah, nothing but court and floor on that one. Boy, free throw shooting, you know, it's repetition. It's having a system when you step up to the free throw line, taking a certain number of dribbles. Shouldn't be more than 3. Making sure you've got a good base, feet slightly wider than the shoulders. Coming up and looking at your target, concentrating on the front of the rim, and just trying to get the ball right over the top.
1 out of 2 for Savoy, and it's a 3-point lead.
And I made him brick it.
He did everything he said.
Zone defense, recognize where the shooters are, don't give up dribble penetration.
Jackson had a good look, but they jumped at him, and I think that got his attention.
Wyatt and Manuel just going after each other in the low post.
And we got a timeout on the floor. 3:24 left, 62-59, the Rebels.
Pardon me, where are you going with all that Bud Light?
The Lee family reunion.
Then I'm here for the Lee family reunion.
You're a member of the Lee family?
Yes, I am.
Right this way.
你是李中的老大。Sure, what, Joe? Sure.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
你真有点像他。
This quality time was made possible by GMAC. With financing and leasing that can be arranged for your new GM vehicle fast, right at the dealership. Because GMAC believes you should be out enjoying your new car instead of waiting for it to be financed. GMAC, the expressway home.
Let's take a look, Larry, at the storyline in this ballgame. UNLV just horrendous beyond the arc, but Kibu Stewart keeping him in it.
You can't get it done from the outside, get it done from the inside. You know, with that three-point shooting, especially now late in the ball game, if New Mexico State elects to stay in that zone defense, you can get that three-point shot, but now you want to take more time off the clock. You don't want to make 3 or 4 shots or passes and then look to shoot it.
Here's the reset, timeout situation. The Aggies with 3, the Rebels with 2. Both teams now in a bonus situation, and the possession arrow pointing toward the Aggies right now.
You know, being in man-to-man out of this on this inbounds play.
Aggies have been shut out for the last 2 minutes.
With Docker inside and Kibu Stewart really going after each other.
Both playing with 4 fouls. Docker finger roll.
UNLV should play now with the same kind of patience and maybe look to take advantage at the other end. The same thing.
Because defensively, both players have to play a little bit softer.
Well, you want to get your defensive work done early and get out in 3-quarter and try and deny to force the man that you're guarding to move away from the low post position. But if the ball does come inside, you've got to jump between the man that catches the ball in the basket and force him to take a shot over the top.
Stewart. Boy, is he tough.
Just keep going at each other on the inside. Somebody's got to give sooner or later and really challenge on the inside, and that's where the whistle's going to blow.
Goes right back into Dockery. Good no call. And it's going to be out of bounds to the Rebels. Off of Dockery. There again, I think I applaud the officials for not being involved here.
But there are certain times where there's just enough contact that really doesn't affect the play, and you're better served at times not blowing the whistle. Let the kids play. Now run some clock. Get some touches. Look inside. Move the ball.
Smith lost it to Jackson. 2 on 3. Rogers waits for help. Rebels not getting beat in transition nearly as much in this game as they did the first time these two teams teed it up. We're going to get a foul on Smith, who comes away limping again.
In transition, Corey Rogers in the open floor, got his head down, really backs off and then makes a nice dish back to Bradbury, who takes it into Thomas Wyatt. And again, you see those hops. Thomas Wyatt going right at the glass, attacking the basket, trying to get the dunk, and he draws a foul.
And the free throw shooting continues to be a problem, even for a 74% free throw shooter. Two-point lead, Rebels with the ball and the lead.
And Sunshine Smith, that last possession, I thought took that shot far too soon. You can always get that shot late in a possession. Run some clock, you have the lead.
They go cross court to Savoy. Thomas picked by Bradbury. 4-on-1. Wyatt to the basket. Tie game.
Coach Massimino's going to get a timeout.
And probably a good timeout. 1:27 remaining in the ball game. New Mexico State 64, UNLV 64. Back with a conclusion after this.
Some people are naturally faster than others. In fact, everything they do is fast. Fast, 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 fast. Now, not everyone appreciates that. But if you're looking to get a new GM car or truck financed, fast is exactly what you want.
Mac will take care of your financing.
And the folks who arrange GMAC financing and leasing are faster than just about anyone else. GMAC, the expressway home.
You forgot your sunglasses.
Now there's a new term for executive privileges, because you can lease the all-new Cadillac DeVille for a single upfront payment of $11,970 for 24 months. That's a savings of $1,486 over Cadillac's already low lease payments. See your Cadillac dealer soon. With terms like these, America's most spacious front-drive sedan can give you even more room to maneuver. Cadillac DeVille, creating a higher standard.
ESPN's exclusive coverage of NCAA college basketball is being brought to you tonight by Bud Light. If you want a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by GMAC Financial Services, the expressway home. Tied at 64, Barry Tompkins with Larry Farmer. They're going crazy here in Las Cruces. Game may not have been pretty, but it's coming down to a thrilling conclusion.
May not have been pretty, but it's real close now.
Well, I harken back to something Mike Montgomery, coach at Stanford, was talking about a couple of weeks ago. He went up to Oregon and won a couple of ugly games up there, and he said, you don't have to look at the replays. So I'm sure either Rollie Massimino or Neil McCarthy is going to say, thank you very much, I'll take the W.
Zone defense, 1-3-1, New Mexico State.
Got to deal with the crowd here at the Pan Am Center. Another turnover. Good defense again by the Aggies. Got to show some patience here.
UNLV in man-to-man. Sunshine Smith's really got to settle himself down, number 4, and make sure that he doesn't get antsy feet, doesn't look to pass the ball inside.
Dockery drew the foul on Stewart. That's his 5th. Big, big play. Well, it's been a real duel for about the last 3 or 4 minutes, and Dockery finally won it.
Keeble reaches right there, and there's just enough body contact down low. Again, you want to get 3-quarter and try and deny and then jump to position. The nice drop step by Dockery. And it appeared that Keeble rode him toward the sideline, just rode him kind of out of bounds so he couldn't get a good look at the shot. Dockery shooting, and Keeble Stewart, who played a terrific game at both ends of the floor, has fouled out.
And you see his line, 23 points, 18 rebounds.
Yeah, this college game isn't new to him. He has not played that long, and as he gets more experience and he gains in confidence, he's going to be a force in this conference.
Dockery, 3 of 8 at the line tonight. But as you indicated earlier, the Aggies have had a tendency to make free throws when they absolutely have had to make them.
Well, in the last 2 minutes, Steve Schott, the SID here, the Big West, has put together a stat. Dockery, normally a 52% free throw shooter, now is 5 for 7 in the last 2 minutes in overtime of ball games.
So we got a timeout with 56 seconds remaining. The Rebels will have the basketball, trailing the hometown Aggies by 2 when we come back.
At Citizens Bank, we strongly believe in the quality growth of Las Cruces. We're convinced that what you put into the community comes back tenfold. That's why Citizens goes the extra mile in working with the local community to ensure that quality service and financing is made available now and in the future. We know that quality of life goes hand in hand with quality service. Citizens is proud of its investment in the Las Cruces area for the past 20 years, and we pledge our continued support.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I want to talk to you. So call me, ask me anything, and I mean anything. Dial the number on your screen and call me now. Hi, this is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. What's the best classic rock and roll station in southern New Mexico?
98 Plus, KSNM, of course.
98 Plus, the rock of New Mexico.
New Mexico State leads it by 2. The Rebels will have the ball with 56 seconds left. And keep in mind, they have had 2 empty possessions in a row, 2 turnovers.
And the zone defense, I think, has really confused UNLV. The shots are there and they're coming early, but I think out of the sense of urgency that UNLV is sensing, they're shooting the ball too quickly before they get a clear look.
So Stewart is left with 23 points. He's on the bench. Reggie Manuel's got 17. Savoy has been a very big factor on the offensive end. Remember also the Aggies with the 5th longest home court winning streak in America. 23 in a row here in Las Cruces. Crowd to a number on its feet. And Rollie Massimino wants another timeout with 44 seconds left. 24 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time.
Well, D-Don Thomas got trapped that time on the baseline and wisely elected to call a timeout rather than try and throw the ball away. He picked up his dribble so the count was on. He was going to have 5 seconds to get rid of it, and rather than throw it away, he called a timeout.
Once again, a reminder that President's Day next Monday, Big Monday, is even bigger. We get underway at 2 o'clock Eastern Time with George Washington proper, I think, on President's Day against Rhode Island. Inca Dare leading George Washington. That's at 2 o'clock. And then a triple dip come the evening. St. John's and Providence in the Big East at 7:30. Then at 9:30 to the Big 8 for Oklahoma State and Colorado. Then we come out here to the West Coast. They'll be playing this one at the Pond in Anaheim. Great new facility. Memphis State and Long Beach State. That is at midnight. Big Monday brought to you by Bud Light. Rolly Massimino's going to have to come up with something here.
Well, he's got 24 seconds on the shot clock. And with the way New Mexico State has been shooting free throws, I'm sure Coach Massimino is saying, okay, we've got to score, and if we tie this ball game up, we've got to play good defense, don't foul. But if we come down and we shoot and we miss, we've got to attack quickly. Don't let them take a lot of time off the clock and that possession before we go after and foul and put them in a situation where either they make free throws and move up or they miss, and we've actually gotten the ball back without a lot of time moving off the clock.
You see that graphic? 3 out of the last 4 games between these two teams have been decided by 1 point. New Mexico State has won 2 of those games. New Mexico State has been doing very well in close games this year. UNLV has not been doing so well in close games this year.
You know, a lot of that just boils down to confidence and experience, and it's a fine line when you look at some of the mistakes that were made earlier, the reach, the loose ball, the push, and all those things now start to add up. And unfortunately, people will remember the turnover or the foul that happens at the end of the game, but it's all results. It's all a building process of what happened at the very beginning.
Neil McCarthy will now call a timeout. So he didn't even wait for the players to come out on the floor and see perhaps how UNLV was going to line up. He just called a timeout right now. He's still got 1 left. Rolly Massimino has no timeouts left. 66-64 ball game, 44 seconds left. We've got a timeout. The Rebels will have the ball when we come back to the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces after this.
Things haven't been that great with Steve and me for a while, so it's not a total surprise.
Believe me, it's still a little scary being on your own now. You really need to start thinking about money. And
I haven't begun to think about that.
When I went through this, I sat down with a broker over at Payne Weber. He looked at what I had, and we came up with a plan that basically just let me get on with my life.
And how did he know what you needed?
Fortunately for me, he asked.
Hey, there's that cool recliner.
Come on, ski jumper.
Oh, the recliner, come on.
Hey, how about both?
Miller Lite presents Recliner Ski Jump.
No way.
Boy, Johnson's ready. He's been training for this for years, Bob. Watch this layback. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything. He's got the record and the light.
What a chair.
What a beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Barry Tompkins, Larry Farmer, 2-point game, 44 seconds left. They're everywhere, folks. Valentine's Day, they love ESPN. Manual to inbound.
Mexico State showing a man-to-man.
Thomas will back it out, got to recognize. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Manuel for 3. Savoy the rebound. Savoy really didn't have to shoot the ball quite that quickly. It's going to be the Aggies' ball.
Savoy really doing a good job in getting that offensive rebound, and rather than gather himself, he seemed to just shoot it off balance and really didn't get a good look at the basket.
So Neil McCarthy calls his last timeout. Neither team has a timeout remaining. 24 seconds left. What about Savoy's shot?
You get an offensive rebound like that, and the clock was not really a factor because the ball had gone up and hit the rim. That's when you want to take a look and see exactly where you are on the floor. If you've got a good opportunity to attack and take the follow and go right back up and in, you do it. Otherwise, you're going to be the hero because you pounded the offensive board. You've given your team a second look, a second opportunity at scoring. Reggie Manuel gets that 3-point shot. It was really a nice play that was set up. And see, Savoy's falling away. He got the rebound, but he's falling away. And in that situation, he can get a much better shot than that if we reset and then run a play.
So there'll be 24 seconds left. Rebels will have to take a foul sooner rather than later, I trust.
In my opinion, you push up and you press out of this, You really can't pick and choose now who you want to foul down to with 24 seconds left to go. Once that ball's in, you go after the ball, you go after the steal, make sure that you don't foul intentionally, so you give up the free throws and the ball being awarded back to New Mexico State, and put them on the line. Make them make free throws. You're down to, if they make one and miss one, you still have a chance to tie with a three-point shot.
This game has now gone into its second day. 12:15 here in Las Cruces. That just grew on that man's head since the opening tip. Great fan support here for these Aggies. Reminder that coming up right after we get out of Dodge, Sports Center right behind us, 24 seconds away.
Now Neil has a play in. I watched them run this before. Well, they'll screen, but they will throw long.
And they do spring a man. They got to hurry, get this in, and it's knocked out of bounds by Thomas.
But Thomas Wyatt wide open for the long pass. I've seen Coach McCarthy do this many, many times. You get everybody up pressing, looking to steal, knock the ball away or foul, and you release a man to the opposite end.
So Bradbury to inbound again. Finally gets the lob in, and did they get the foul? They did. UNLV wanted the ball out of bounds. They didn't want the foul.
Well, all that happened very close to the sideline. First you had the 5-second count, which of course Coach Massimino was counting for the referee, and the ball was inbounded very close to the sideline, and it appeared that they were trying to say that the ball was actually passed in out of bounds.
They fouled Jackson, 61% free throw shooter on the season. He is 1 out of 2 tonight. Still 22 seconds left.
Again, according to that free throws made in the last 2-minute graphic, DJ Jackson is 3 out of 7.
He'll have 2. And the next one is the big one.
People talk about shooting free throws in the clutch. I've always said if you're a decent free throw shooter, it's just a matter of concentration.
Missed the second. They got a chance. 20 seconds left. Thomas backs it out. 15
They're going to run a play.
Left.
Set a weak side pick for Reggie Manuel and try and find him in the corner.
Well, there he is. Takes the shot. Too hard. Gibson gets it back. 5 seconds. Throws it up off balance. The follow by Savoy. It's a 2-point shot. 3 seconds left. 1-point game. The Aggies lead. And can they foul fast enough? The answer is no, and the Aggies will win. So for the 4th time in the last 5 times that these two teams have met, the outcome is decided by 1 point. And for the 3rd time, the New Mexico State Aggies have won. 67-66. New Mexico State defeats UNLV. So that's a wrap for us here at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. For my partner, Larry Farmer, I'm Barry Tompkins. Sports Center is next.
Sign in. We're getting ready to go. Off to Lillehammer. We'll have the up-to-the-minute Olympic results. Another tragedy mars Speed Weeks at Daytona. These 2 men didn't exchange Valentines. We'll tell you who makes Cheney sit down. In college hoops, threes decide a battle in the Big 8. The Hall turns red, trying to make a run for the bubble. In L.A., the Great One battles the Hot One. Can Quebec get one past Ranger Richter? And the First Lady and First Mom of Comedy talk Olympics. So get a comfy chair and don't wave goodbye. Sports Center saying hello. Next.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the show. We'll be with you until the top of the hour. So some extra Sports Center. Steve Levy with Mike Tirico. College baskets tonight. No ranked teams, but a couple of border rivalries. We'll have the highlights ahead.
But we start with day 3, Mike, at the Olympics, dominated by disappointment for America's medal hopes in 2 sports. Jack Edwards has the luge story in a minute, but first Jimmy Roberts on the continued disappointment for Dan Jansen.
Well, Dan Jansen's Olympic nightmare continued on Monday. The 500 meters, he was coming into turn 3. He tripped. He didn't fall, but he did finish a disappointing 8th. Now remember, it was 6 years ago to the day, the Calgary Olympic Games. Jansen finds out in the afternoon that his sister Jane dies of leukemia. That night, he's skating the 500 meters. He trips and falls. A couple of days later, he's skating in the 1,000. Exactly the same thing happens. He falls. He did have a chance for redemption 4 years later in Albertville, but he skated poorly. Now, given Jansen's dominance at this distance, it would seem that the medal winners on Monday, well, it was almost a footnote. But here they are. The other great surprises of the day, the Russian success and the failure of the Japanese to claim more than just a single medal. But clearly, Dan Jansen was the story of this day.
It was right where we wanted to be, a good corner, and that's where he accelerates from the first corner on. And from then on, we were fine. 100 was good enough, too. I mean, it wasn't world record ice today, but 36-1, 36-2, without the slip, no problem.
Would he have won?
Oh, I think so. I think so, but you have to finish the race, so we can't take nothing away from Golubev. He's the Olympic champion. You know, we didn't finish the race.
Of course, literally, Jansen did finish the race. Spiritually, he didn't. Next up for him, the 1,000 meters on Friday. And if you think that he may have a problem climbing back up for this one, you don't really have to search too far for a parallel. 1976 Winter Olympic Games. The favorite for the 500 meters is Peter Miller, but he finishes 5th. He's crestfallen. 2 days later, he comes back in the 1,000 meters, and he wins the gold medal. Now, here on Monday, it was a tough day all around for the American Olympic team. Earlier, Jack Edwards had this report from the luge competition on what may eventually become known as the American Olympic team's St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Duncan Kennedy's attempt to become the first American to win a medal in luge ended in disqualification when he crashed during Monday's third run at Hundertfossen. Kennedy had a fast run going when he bumped the wall coming out of a turn near the bottom of the course. He veered across the track, smashed into the other wall, and got knocked off his sled. He was dragged skidding through the so-called Triumph turn at about 65 miles an hour, reducing his speed suit to shreds. The leaders, Georg Hackl and Marcus Prock, had begun the day with back-to-back track records. Then, the man that Kennedy was trying to catch, Armin Zogler of Italy, bumped the wall during his start, leading to a slow run. The door to third place was open.
You know, I knew it was going to be tough to catch Hackl or Prock, but I figured that, you know, the track record would be nice, at least, to break today, and I was on my way.
Germany's Georg Hackl won the gold medal for the second consecutive time. Austria's Marcus Prock had to settle for silver. He has won the World Cup 4 times, but he has yet to win a gold medal at the Olympics. Zogler got the bronze. As for the Americans, Robert Pipkins finished 16th. Wendell Sukow got an American all-time best 5th, bouncing back from a shaky first day.
There was room for improvement, so I just wanted to come out today and put in the runs that I knew I could do, and that's what I did, and the results came from it.
Let's send it back to SportsCenter.
Jack, it was so cold, officials thought of canceling one of your favorites, the 30-kilometer cross-country event. They did not, and the host Norwegians go 1-2. The downhill is day 1, part 1 of the Alpine Combined. That's Tommy Moe. Only 24 hours earlier, he won America's first gold in these games, and only gold. Good time in the downhill portion, 0.2 of a second behind leader Lasse Juus, who was looking on, still in first place after his downhill portion. Another American posing a threat to Lasse Juus's lead, and that is Kyle Rasmussen of California, finishing 1/100th behind Juus, pushing Moe to third place. The other half of this event is next Friday. Neither the Californian Rasmussen or the Alaskan gold medal winner Moe are strong in the slalom portion. Ras said, "I'm not the best slalom skier, but I have 10 days to get ready." A hockey shocker. Finns against top seed Russia. Russia fails to clear bad fundamentals. What a shock. Saku Koivu, the Canadians' first-round draft pick in last year's entry draft, scores for Finland. A 4-goal second-period barrage. Finland wins 5-0. This was the 70th Soviet Olympic hockey game, only the second time they lost by more than a goal. The Finns are now 2-0.
To college hoops we go, beginning within the Big Eight, where both Nebraska and Oklahoma just so happen to be tied at 4-4. It's a matchup that enjoys great tradition. They've been playing each other since 1920. 164 previous meetings will qualify you every time for rivalry status. The Sooners have a 16-game edge in the lifetime standings. They've won 51 of the past 70 in Norman, 12 of the last 14 at home during the Billy Tubbs era. Enough of the numbers, can never get enough of those. Highlights, though, great Nebraska passing. Jaron Boone finally capped off to Bruce Chubik for the hoop and the foul. 14-4, Huskers early. Sooners would come back. Calvin Curry from downtown Tulsa. Oklahoma up 6 at the break. End of regulation. Sooners up 3. Not for long. Here's Jamar Johnson. Hits it to force the overtime. Here's more from Jamar. Some defense, too. Picks Pete Lewis clean. Goes in alone for the hoop. Oklahoma would hit 2 free throws. That put Billy Tubbs up 2. Nebraska a chance to tie. Jason Glock can't get a piece of the rim. Danny Nee wants the foul, won't get it. 115-111. Oklahoma hangs on for the win. Curry reached his career-high 33 points for the second straight game. This time it included 7 three-pointers. There were 15, count them, 15 lead changes before the half. Not the best of times for former Big East beasts St. John's and Seton Hall, eating it up like Jell-O in Jersey. St. John's cut the lead to 6 in the second half. James Scott on the break, putting PJ in a trance, thinking threes. Brian Caver, the 3 from the corner. Seton Hall on the break. Caver to Arturas Karnisovas, hits the layup and the foul. Karnisovas had 22 points. Seton Hall rolling. John Leahy, the dish to Shaka Ship for the authoritative jam. Seton Hall wins it 67-57. The Hall held the Johnnies to 33% shooting, out rebounded them 42-26. St. John's top scorer and rebounder managed just 2 points, 1 board in his 25 minutes. That's Shawnell Scott. His thumb continues to bothering him after injuring it over the weekend. Florida Atlantic drops to 1 up and 22 down. And Chris Artis scored 18 to lead Eastern Washington over Sacramento State by 10. The Hornets fall to 1-21. Sense a pattern developing here? Well, there are only 4 teams in Division I with just 1 win. Florida Atlantic, Sacramento State, St. Francis, New York, and Chicago State. The really embarrassing part here is there's no one beneath them. Not a single winless team in all of D1 basketball. Mike?
The Atlantic 10 has not acted yet, but Temple University did respond to Sunday's emotional and disgraceful post-game reaction by Coach John Chaney. Temple's president suspending Chaney for 1 game after his outburst during UMass coach John Calipari's press conference. Chaney was upset by Calipari's heated exchange with officials outside the locker room after a 1-point UMass win. Monday, Chaney apologized to the A-10, UMass, the teams, those present, and those who witnessed this.
You remember that when I see you, I'm gonna kick your ass. Kick your ass.
I didn't make any expressions about no repercussions or anything. I didn't make that expression. I talked with you in a discussion there about incidents, but as far as anything in terms of you making a statement that I said that there would be, I have no idea what's taking place, and I don't have any other comment about that. If you guys want to ask me about basketball, feel free to do that.
I didn't do anything. I mean, I was standing in a press conference. So to say that, you and John went at each other and did something, that's not exactly what happened.
Those reaction in Monday's Atlantic 10 regularly scheduled conference call. In his suspension, the school president said Chaney should steer clear of these emotional encounters, adding, quote, no basketball game is a life or death matter. Chaney will miss Temple's Wednesday game at St. Bonaventure. Tuesday, Calipari and UMass are in Philadelphia to play St. Joseph's.
The Daytona International Speedway was the home to human tragedy for the second time in 4 days on Monday. Rodney Orr was killed when his car crashed into the wall off the second turn while practicing for this Sunday's Daytona 500. The 31-year-old Orr was tuning up for his very first Winston Cup race when his automobile flipped over, smashed roof first into the wall. Orr pronounced dead on arrival at Halifax Medical Center after sustaining massive head and upper body injuries. Well, also on Monday in Hueytown, Alabama, funeral services held for race car driver Neil Bonnet, who was 47 years old when he was killed on Friday when the auto he was driving struck a wall at Daytona. Questions being raised. Dr. Jerry Punch looking for answers.
Following 2 tragedies in less than 4 days, it's understandable that the mood in the garage area would be quite subdued. The big question mark is why? Why is this happening? The drivers want to know. You see, there is almost 1,000 miles of racing yet to take place during Speed Weeks 1994. Is it the racetrack? Well, it's not that. It's been here 36 years, and there have been just 27 fatalities. How about the weather? Gusting winds can wreak havoc here on the high banks. But the big variable may be tires. 2 tire companies here for the first time in a number of years. Tiny Hoosier Tire out of Lakeville, Indiana is in the garage area along with corporate giant Goodyear. And that has led to some serious speculation.
There hadn't been a car wreck yet that's been on Goodyear, so obviously the guys are going to, the Hoosiers appeared to be a little faster, but the way they make them faster is they take tread off the ground. They make the tires the same width, but only a certain part's touching the racetrack. So when you do that, that makes the tire a little faster. But with the winds we have today and yesterday and the last couple of days, and in the draft, it's not going to be a very safe tire.
Has nothing to do with tires. The fellas over here that are experienced with good teams, with good cars, we haven't wrecked. We haven't had any trouble. So I can't see how anyone can blame it on tires. That just isn't so.
As we approach Thursday's qualifying races to set the field for Sunday's Daytona 500, there are still at least 20 cars set to run with Hoosier tires, including 1989 Daytona 500 winner Darrell Waltrip. For SportsCenter, I'm Jerry Punch.
And with every accusation comes a response. The Hoosier Tire people saying that the tires were not a factor whatsoever. According to Jimmy Horton, who was driving behind Rodney Orr, it appeared the air lifted the car off the ground. Should point out as well that the Chevy Lumina driven by Neil Bonnet had Hoosier tires on it.
It'll be interesting in Thursday's Twin 125s to see how the Hoosier tires perform with all the people asking questions now.
Well, SportsCenter continues on, and when we come back, more from college basketball land. Highlights and scores aplenty.
No more working out in private. We get a gander at his airness and spikes Tuesday. We'll show you the media circus. How close is Wayne to Gordy's goal scoring mark? We'll see if he got closer on Monday night. If you're not a fan of college hockey, we'll show you why you should be. The Beanpot Tournament. And who is she? And what is she doing at the Olympics? Find out when we come back.
You're kidding. The heat's off on Saturday? I can't get a copy of Fixed on Saturday. That's helpful.
Technical support is closed on Saturday and...
Please send up some coffees.
UPS introduces Saturday Pickup.
You'll pick up the package?
With guaranteed tracking and guaranteed air delivery by 10:30 a.m. Monday.
Great.
Coffee.
All for less than our competitors.
How you doing?
Hi.
Finally, something on Saturday.
Iced coffee.
Guaranteed to go right. UPS.
Dave Thomas has a dream of competing in the 4-man bobsled and winning gold.
Let's try it.
Maybe we ought to have lunch first. If you've got a challenging afternoon, get a Wendy's $2.99 old-fashioned quarter-pound single combo with biggie fries and a cold drink. The best hamburger makes the best combo.
48!
48 seconds?
No, minutes! Well, better luck next time. Yeah, see you, buddy.
Wendy's quarter-pound single combo, now just $2.99.
Hey, guys, what about Pierre's figure skating?
It seems the more time goes by, the fancier trucks get.
Just a bunch of chrome and snashy stripes.
What the?
Fusion!
No. So Mazda went and asked folks what a truck should be.
I need a real truck.
And learn one very important lesson.
You don't run through mud in ballet slippers.
Introducing the bigger.
It's bigger.
Meaner.
It's meaner.
All-new Mazda truck. The only import with a 4-liter V6 and one monster warranty.
Gotta tow my dinosaur.
The new Mazda truck.
I like my dinosaur. It's a good dinosaur.
Mazda. It just feels right.
We can offer you this kind of salary, Kim, because our law firm is so successful. There is also the Country Club membership, access to the corporate condo in Barbados. Plus, you can have your choice of any color Hyundai you want. Well, we would never have gotten so successful if we hadn't also been so sensible.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Hyundai, cars that make sense.
Thanks for coming back. The Boston Bruins getting set to embark on a 7-game road trip, and while the Bees have enjoyed their time at home, fact is they've had a better time away from the old barn located in North Station. The Bruins 4 over at the Garden, 6 over away from it, where along with the Leafs, they have a league-low 8 losses. First stop is Los Angeles. Cam Neely coming off the hat-trick game where he had 3 goals in 4 minutes. Continues his torrid pace, 1-0 Bruins. Second period, more from Cam. Adam Oates fires Neely, and bang, like that, it's in the net. 2-0 Bruins. Third period. Down 2-1 under 7 to go. Wayne Gretzky from behind the goal finds the cutting Rob Blake for the score. just over 4 minutes into overtime. The Kings unable to clear the puck. Glenn Murray would come up big, and the pass from Steve Hines beats Kelly Rudy, and the Bruins win it by a score of 3-2. They wasted nearly a 2-goal lead in the final 10 minutes of regulation, nearly up to 40 goals in 36 games. And just for fun, he is on pace for roughly a 96-goal season. Wayne Gretzky had 2 assists in the game. He hits 100 points on the season. Speaking of Gretzky, from the dominant figure in one sport to a dominant figure in general who's trying to play another sport, if you can call it privacy, it has ended for Michael Jordan, the baseball player. The private workout on Monday turns extremely public on Tuesday in Sarasota, Florida, spring training home of the Chicago White Sox. One of the reasons Michael left the baseball world, rather the basketball world, was to get away from it all. Well, just outside of Ed Smith Stadium, Jordan can't even escape a very cute autograph seeker while in his car at what was originally a red light. Michael apparently has something in common with David Letterman. More on that later. Other baseball notes for you. The Detroit Tigers inked veterans Lance Parrish and Juan Samuel to minor league contracts. The Spos avoid a hearing with their final arbitration case by signing John Wetland to a 1-year deal worth $2.2 million. They also sent Chris Nabholz to Cleveland for a couple of minor leaguers. Later on in the show, her faithful fans give Tanya a fond farewell as she has one last skate in the mall before heading to Lillehammer.
Cattleman Steakhouse invites you to experience the taste of the Old West. Thick, juicy cuts of meat, prime rib, baked back ribs, T-bones, and more. All served with hearty helpings of ranch-style beans, fresh bread, and salad bar. Cattleman's is also a great stop for lunch, with quick and delicious lunch specials every weekday. Don't forget, happy hour starts at 4, so bring your friends for drink specials and free munchies. So when you hear the sound of the dinner bell, you know it's time to experience a taste of the Old West at Cattleman's Steakhouse.
Let's dance! Gentleman places his right arm under the lady's left shoulder blade.
The old Bill black wingtip mallard is very, very shy, but will usually respond.
Here are the few things you can make with items from around your house with welding. Okay, do it.
I-22! I-22!
Next on Ping Pong TV.
You could be watching the news right now. Headline news, a whole day's news every half hour. Check cable listings for channel number.
Slam Bam Wednesday. Hey, want to play a game? Yeah, basketball.
Virginia and Duke pummel each other Wednesday at 9 Eastern.
Watch Slam Bam Wednesday.
SportsCenter continues. Big West, Big Monday. Raleigh and UNLV at New Mexico State. Tommy Wyatt hits the 3. The Aggies by 7 at the break. Neil McCarthy's team atop the Big West. 1.5 left. Dwayne Bradbury the steal. Tommy Wyatt scores the goal. Tied at 64. After free throws, New Mexico State up 3 late. The attempted 3 is dunked by Patrick Savoy. The errant shot, it counts as 2. No timeouts left for Vegas, so they have to foul. Can New Mexico State successfully inbound the ball? Yes, they do. The Rebels can't foul, and New Mexico State gets the victory. They lead the Big West by 3 games over Pacific and San Jose State, and they sweep UNLV for the first time ever. Some more Monday scores.
Well, as you might recall, the NHL GMs held their annual meetings last week in sunny Florida. While they never got around to discussing the shootout, they did find time to discuss things that are slowing down the game. So, in an effort to pick things up, the league has instructed its officials to blow the whistle on each and every restraining foul. Case in point, the Rangers and the Nordiques minor night. 28 minors in the game, 13 in the first period, courtesy of Kerry Frazier. We had holding the stick, high sticking, interference, and we had, of course, power play goals, like Mike Ricci beating Mike Richter, 1-0 Nordiques. Steve Larmer had the answer. One of his 2 power play goals on the night. Rangers lead 2-1. More minor penalties. How about some hooking, maybe some interference, maybe holding. The Nords 1 for 12 on the power play. Richter was sensational. You see the stop on Martin Ruzinski with Kevin Lowe in the box. The Rangers score their league-leading 16th short-handed goal. Messier beat Stéphane Facette. Rangers lead 4-2. As they were wearing out the bulbs in the scoreboard. Kerry Frazier, hey, don't shoot the messenger, folks. He's just doing what he was told. Rangers win it 4-2. Zubov with 3 assists. Nordique fans continue that new tradition of booing the home team and rooting for the visitors late in the game. The Flames' 6-game win streak is now history, so the Hawks go 4-5 on their 9-game trip. Has to be frustrating. 3 of the 5 losses to to San Jose. Mike?
Steve, it happened Monday night while they slept in Lillehammer, but you can bet when several members of Team USA wake up Tuesday, they want to know what happened at Boston Garden. You see, head coach Tim Taylor, assistant John Cuniff, and 5 players played in the Bean Pot. Monday, Boston College and Harvard played for the title in one of college hockey's oldest and grandest tournaments. To the Boston Garden we go for the action. A great game. Harvard in white. It's scoreless, but not for long. Sean McCann goes top shelf on Greg Taylor. The Crimson lead 1-0 on Steve Cedarchuk's BC team. But they shut down the Harvard offense, and then Rob LaFerriere sets up Don Chase to tie the game at 1. We're going to overtime in OT. Tom Ash, a sophomore, just his second goal of the year, beats Aaron Israel, one of the best collegiate goalies in the country. The emotion of the Bean Pot, unless you experience it, you don't understand what a great tournament it is. The rebuilding Eagles, underdogs coming in, win the Bean Pot for the first time in 11 years. When we continue, Tanya's final stateside skate and the first mom of comedy meets up with the first lady. The Late Show ladies, when Steve and I continue.
It's yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must have...
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not...
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Where in the world would you go if there were no Las Vegas? Where you can see new resorts and attractions you've never seen anywhere before. You'd have to travel to the future and the past. And the only other place you'd find excitement like this is your own imagination. Only in Las Vegas.
A redwing flies gracefully in the sky. A maple leaf falls gracefully from a tree. Those are about the only graceful things in this game. The Detroit Red Wings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tomorrow at 7:30. NHL on ESPN2.
We're clear.
Getting back to the Olympic Games, among the few thousand press credentials issued in the events in Lillehammer, Norway, one was reserved for Dorothy, last name unknown, who is on assignment as the investigative reporter for CBS's Late Show, hosted by her son, David Letterman. Her first interview was with the First Lady.
Tell Dave to come on down and see us and bring you, or you come by yourself.
I'll tell you. Oh, and I have a question to ask you from David.
Okay.
I jotted it down. He said, is there anything you or your husband can do about the speed limit in Connecticut?
That sounds like a very personal inquiry from your son. Has he gotten into trouble?
Oh, he has a heavy foot.
Does he have a heavy? So does my husband.
Following her report, Dave asked his mom to make sure she stayed off the luge. Dorothy promised she would, Mike.
Larry Blood could be in some trouble. Well, the biggest U.S. Olympic media circus comes to an end in Portland Tuesday. Tanya Harding gets on a plane and flies to Norway, where she will live one floor from Nancy Kerrigan. Mark Schwartz was in Portland as Tanya said farewell to her fans.
Tanya Harding spent about 90 minutes on the ice Monday morning at Clackamas Town Center. Her final workout here in the States. She's scheduled to leave mid-morning Tuesday for Norway.
I skated great today, and I'm really, really happy. I mean, I'm going to Norway.
Harding did hit several triple jumps, but she was clearly hampered by her asthma and often interrupted her workout in order to catch her breath.
Oh, it's just practice. You guys come here and you expect every day for her to do a perfect program, and, you know, there are things we need to do, and sometimes we need to stop and go back to certain things, and that's what we did today.
Harding won't discuss the Kerrigan assault case. However, she did offer some insight into her frame of mind since returning from Detroit last month.
I feel that I'm a very strong person, but that only goes so far. I mean, I'm only human, and, you know, What I've had to go through is going to be the toughest thing that I've ever had to go through in my life. And I don't think I could have done it without the people I'm with right now. I'm strong sometimes, but I need to sit down and cry. I haven't been able to cry yet. I haven't been able to celebrate my victory at Nationals. I haven't been able to do anything. And I guess it'll be one big happy victory when I win.
Harding also had a few words for her naysayers.
I just hope someday that they can believe in me. And when I win the gold medal, it's going to be for them.
Harding and her coaches are ticketed to leave before noon on Tuesday, but they'll spend 16 hours of that day in an airplane. Count stopovers, they won't be arriving in Norway until Wednesday afternoon. That's it from Portland. I'm Mark Schwartz, ESPN.
And Mark, as media outlets, the Disney folks, and magazines plan to throw money at Nancy and Tanya long after their long programs are done, the doings of the duo are fabulous fodder for comedians. Even the folks at Comedy Central, Monday the cable network auditioned potential Tanya and Nancy's for a 5-minute spoof airing next week.
Why me? Why anyone?
Thank you.
Why me? Why? Why me? Why anyone?
Can we have that one more time, bigger?
All I wanted to do was win a gold on my country.
That's great. Thank you.
That's great. How about going to the library and finding a hobby? A little bit later on in the show, more about the 5-ring thing, more about the Olympics and Did You Know?
Dave Thomas has a dream of competing in the 4-man bobsled and winning gold. Let's try it.
Maybe we ought to have lunch first.
If you've got a challenging afternoon, get a Wendy's $2.99 old-fashioned quarter-pound single combo with biggie fries and a cold drink. The best hamburger makes the best combo.
48! 48 seconds? No, minutes! Well, better luck next time.
Yeah, see you, buddy.
Wendy's quarter-pound single combo, now just $2.99.
Hey, guys, what about Pierre's figure skating?
Miami's South Beach is a photographer's paradise. Ask Irene Marie. Her models appear in magazines all over the world. But when her modeling agency needs office products, she calls the biggest star of all, Office Depot. From Canada to Florida, nobody guarantees lower prices than Office Depot. Nobody. Okay, that's a wrap. You're in the driver's seat with ESPN's 3-point shootout contest. 3 winners go to the college championships in Charlotte to shoot for a legendary Nissan 300ZX. Watch ESPN to enter and keep your eye on the road. Sponsored by Pizza Hut and Quaker State.
And welcome back, everyone. Some more basketball scores for you, including the big win by North Carolina State, big in number. Earlier, as seen on ESPN, New Mexico State a 1-point winner over UNLV. We join Larry Farmer now with a post-game discussion.
The final score here, 67-66, another 1-point victory for New Mexico State. I'm here with James Dockery and Coach Neil McCarthy. James, what a tough, physical-fought game underneath the basket.
Yeah, I know. Team tried hard. You know, we scrapped it out the whole game, and, you know, Coach stuck with some of the players who wasn't playing well, including myself, and, you know, we felt happy. To come out with this win.
But I thought there was so much aggression on the boards. I thought the team that really did a good job of getting all the loose balls and attacking the basket was really going to have a chance to break this wide open.
Yeah, I don't think this is one of my best offenses tonight, but our defense has really played a big part in this win. And so, you know, that hustle and going over stuff, what they do, and concentrating on defense really helped us out.
Right, well, that last shot that you hit was pretty good for the offense too, James. Yeah. Thank you very much. Right, good game.
I'm out there, Mom.
He had to get that in. Yeah, Coach, explain how you play in 2 parts. You started off slow, but then you really picked it up in that second half.
Well, I thought we were making some omissions of intelligence in our zone defense, our matchup at halftime. We made some adjustments. It was a nip and tuck all the way through our offense. They did a good job defensing us. first of all. We didn't seem to knock down a very high percentage of shots. I thought we really picked it up on the boards, and I thought the last 3 plays of the game was the first time we went man-to-man the whole game, and we got 3 stops, so I was pleased with that. Didn't give them second shots, and we were able to wrap it up. But it's, like you said, our 4th game in 5 games. It's been a one-pointer, and I don't know. We must be living right. We're winning most of them.
Well, you came out on top, Coach. Congratulations, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you, Larry.
Back to Sports Center.
Larry, thank you very much. So Neil McCarthy's team up 3 in the Big West. UNLV now at 500 overall and in the conference. Not just the attendance declining for the Runnin' Rebs. Now back to the other big college hoop story for the weekend. Suspending basketball coach John Chaney for 1 game after his post-game outburst on Sunday at Temple University. That happened from the president today. 14 years ago, Chaney had a confrontation with the head coach at John Calipari's alma mater, Clarion University. Bob Lee looks back at the genesis of this latest blow-up.
Down to 7. Williams backing in. Forces up an open shot. He got it!
The coaches exchanged a post-game handshake without incident. Calipari was then seen complaining to the game officials in a hallway. He was most visibly upset with a late foul call that allowed Temple to pull ahead in the waning seconds. Chaney's post-game press conference went without incident. He then returned to the press room to interrupt Calipari, apparently angry that the UMass coach was, in coach speak, working the refs.
I just got my ass blasted for giving them hell down in West Virginia, and here you get a hell of a job right here today. Good job. 3 class guys. And you pick them out here and single them out. You can't get that. You got to never threaten the guy. Shut up, goddammit. You got to never threaten the guy. I'm killing you. You remember that. When I see you, I'm going to kick your ass. Kick your ass. Come on. You got a good team, and you don't need that edge. That's why I was telling my kid to knock your kid in the mouth. Standing there pushing in the game.
These same men tangled during an emotional triple overtime game 4 years ago. Last year at Philly, Calipari and one of Chaney's assistants engaged in a shouting match. Chaney, in the words of his school president, wears his heart on his sleeve.
The only thing I can say to you is that I thought that the game was first-class officiating. I thought the gentlemen were absolutely great.
7 years ago, his Owls were involved in a bad brawl at Rhode Island, after which he assailed the officiating.
How can you have 3 blind mice on a basketball court when all those things are happening?
When Temple lost the NCAA West Regional Final to Michigan last spring, Chaney drew a technical foul and then criticized non-calls by the officials. John Chaney is an outspoken coach, a leader on social issues, an impassioned man who runs a discipline program. Sunday, discipline gave way, again, to passion.
Bob, thank you. We just kind of jump in on this midstream. What I was able to gather from some folks who I talked to who saw everything that happened not in front of the cameras. John Calipari was talking to the officials. The officials were unhappy because Calipari was riding them throughout the game. And somebody went and told John Chaney, hey, Calipari's going after the officials. So John Chaney really, from what I'm told, didn't understand why Calipari and the officials were going at it in the bowels of the Mullins Center right after the game.
It's obviously an emotional time, but there's got to be a better way to go about voicing your complaint. How about pulling the coach aside afterwards? It was also interesting, right after the game, we had a shot of it, coaches shook hands, right? No problem at all.
And they meet again a week from Thursday.
Does that happen to be on ESPN, by the way?
Yes, it is. It's at McGonigal Hall, where emotions ride high anyway, so that should be interesting. When we come back, the U.S. hockey team's in action again tomorrow. In a matter of a few hours, we're going to look at the captain, one of the leaders on that team, when Steve and I continue on this expanded Sports Center. So don't go away.
Success in life is the result of preparation and having the right tools. To become the person you've always wanted to be, select Nordic Flex Gold. You provide the effort, and Nordic Flex Gold provides the means to your personal success. You want to develop the poise, confidence, and energy that come from a strong, toned body. And like these people, you can have that body in just 12 weeks with Nordic Flex Gold. Some people spend a lifetime wishing for a great body. Now with Nordic Flex Gold, you can unlock your potential in as little as 12 weeks. Nordic Flex Gold features linear motion and a patented isokinetic resistance system, providing results faster and more efficiently than with other strength training systems. Now is the time to act. great muscle tone, accelerated fat loss, increased energy, as well as poise and confidence can all be yours in just 12 weeks with Nordic Flex Gold. To order or for more information, call now.
Okay, I'm Christian Leitner. 1992, Duke, Kentucky. Kentucky's up by 1. Christian's got the ball. 2 seconds left. He shoots a beautiful turnaround jumper off the glass. He gets his own rebound. Loose ball. Leitner goes straight to the hole. Get them. Duke wins game of the century. And that's the way it happened. Well, almost.
Jim Rome's Glossary Primer, number 108. Milk carton.
Sometimes a professional athlete becomes a professional bench warmer. If he's not on the bench, he's in the box, in the dugout, injured, depressed, oh, whatever. He's not out there. You don't see him all season. He's missing. So logically, if he's missing, he should be on a milk carton.
Watch Rome, speak Rome. Talk 2, phone in sports talk with a language all its own. Monday through Friday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
Sports Center is brought to you by Office Depot, taking care of business with guaranteed low prices on thousands of brand name office supplies.
Welcome back, everyone. The United States hockey team returns to action on Tuesday against Slovakia. They will have a new goalie in the nets, Garth Snow, to replace Mike Dunham, who struggled in the 4-4 tie against France, a game in which Peter Laviolette scored a goal, though it was a fluky goal. With a profile on the team leader in a number of ways, here's Jimmy Roberts.
Out there amongst the fresh, scrubbed faces of a team so young that many still have all their own teeth, Peter Laviolette doesn't look any different. But of course he is.
He's a captain. He's the almost senior citizen on this team. You know, he's so much older than any of us, but...
Gramps?
Yeah, exactly. We call him Gramps sometimes.
At 29, he is 7 years older than the average age player on this, the youngest American Olympic hockey team ever. He is 8 years older than his roommate.
You know, I never drank coffee until this year, and I guess it's, he almost forced it down my throat, and, you know, I guess now I drink it, and I don't know if I really like it yet, but I drink it.
Laviolette's teammates may joke, but they seem to concede that with age comes wisdom. So when the old man speaks, the youngsters listen.
Most people don't get a second chance at it, so I wanted them to make sure that they understand that this could be their only whack at it.
In 1988, he had his first whack at it as part of the highly touted U.S. team that went to Calgary.
We had a great team. We had Brian Leach, Mike Richter, Chris Torreri, Craig Janney, Kevin Stevens, Stephen Leach, Corey Mill, and Tony Granato. And it was pretty disappointing not to do better than 7th place. For me, this is like a second chance. It's a chance to go back and try and do better. You know, kind of like a do-over in that movie City Slickers. It's a do-over.
He has played more than 380 games in the minors. He was captain of the Binghamton Rangers and the Providence Bruins. He even played 12 games with the New York Rangers in the NHL. And so the selection of Peter Laviolette as team captain, at least on the surface, seemed like a very obvious choice. Not only does he have Olympic experience, not only is he the oldest player on this team, but also he has more hockey experience than anyone on this squad by a long shot.
But there was also the reason why he was here. He was here because he wanted to be an Olympian. He wasn't here as a stepping stone to another part of his career.
I played for a gold medal over a Stanley Cup 100 times out of 100.
That is music to Taylor's ears. He considers himself a hockey romantic and believes that an Olympic team should be more than just an all-star team from the pros. So this time around, there will be no late additions from the NHL. In fact, most of Team USA has been together now for 6 months through 61 games. Banking on stability over proven talent, though, is a calculated risk. Team USA fared poorly in the recent pre-Olympic tournament, but Taylor still believes that chemistry and youthful enthusiasm are the way to go. So that's how the Americans will make their stand. A bunch of kids who were barely old enough to read during the miracle of Lake Placid, following the old man of the rink.
For Peter Laviolette, his shot comes right now. As you probably know, the Russian Olympic hockey team lost to Finland 5-0 on Monday, the worst Russian loss in Olympic history.
Did you know, not only was it the worst loss, the Russians have never been shut out before. 19 of the 22 players who were on the unified team that won the gold medal in Albertville are now in the NHL. Maybe that's why this team is struggling so much. We told you earlier, Tanya Harding heads off to Portland tomorrow. Well, before she left tonight, she had one more meeting with the Portland area tow truck operators.
I'll move it right now.
Picking it up right now.
No, you're not. Watch this.
Well, the tow truck was ready to pull away Tanya's truck as it was once before, and she reportedly paid a sum that time not to have the truck towed away. This time she just pulled away. What are all these camera crews going to do over the next few days, huh? With Tanya over in Lillehammer.
You know, despite the fact she's the villain and all this, you kind of feel bad for her.
Yes.
Steve Levy.
Mike Tirico. Good night. Bye.